Cynthia Pettit is suing former client, 23-year-old mortgage consultant Lacey Ryan, for unpaid child care fees. Lacey says Cynthia hit her 3-year-old son.
Ms. Pettit, you provided daycare services for the defendant for approximately a week.
A week and a half, Your Honor.
And she removed her child from your care. You claim she did not pay you. The defendant says she did, in fact, pay you. She removed the child because she said that you had hit the child. What kind of facility do you run?
I do an in-home daycare. I'm licensed through my county, and I have a zoning permit that allows me to take in children and do daycare.
How many children do you have?
I have one child, and I take care of 4 other children at the present time.
And what age are the other 4 children?
The youngest is 13 months, a year and a half, 2 years, and 2.5 years.
And how old is your child?
He just turned 3.
And what date did you bring your son to the plaintiff's home?
I believe it was November 19th.
Okay, and what was your financial arrangement with the defendant?
My contract states that I get paid on Mondays, $150 for the week. She came in on a Monday.
You have a copy of the contract?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it, please?
She came in on a Monday, told me that she was going to start working on Tuesday. I told her, I said, you know, I understand that it's tight right now with you starting a new job. I said, if you want, I'll let you pay me the following Monday.
This is not a contract. This is that she understands the terms and conditions of child care policy.
I don't do a month.
You have a contract that provides for termination, illness, emergency, and there is a place for her to sign here. Okay, so you brought the child in on Monday and she said that she can't pay you until the following week, and you said okay. Mm-hmm. So you took care of the child from Monday through Friday.
From Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday was Thanksgiving. I told her I was open for business on Friday, and she said she wasn't going to bring him in because it was Thanksgiving holiday. I said, I will not charge you for Thanksgiving Day. But
so Tuesday and Wednesday.
And Friday, we agreed because I was open for business, but she chose not to bring him.
And when the next week did you take care of the child?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, she did not show.
So you actually took care of the child for 6 days. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you say she did not pay you any money?
No, ma'am.
And you say you paid her money?
I paid her for the full 2 weeks, even though she didn't watch him for the full 2 weeks.
Prove it.
I paid her in cash.
Well, tell me about it.
She watched him the first week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think Thursday was Thanksgiving that she didn't watch him.
Well, Thursday is always Thanksgiving, or Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday.
So, but the rest of the week I didn't bring him. And the arrangement was to pay her the following Friday when I got paid. I took him Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. When I took my son there, he started screaming, no Cindy's house, no Cindy's house. I took him anyway. I picked him up early that day. When I picked him up, he was crying. He said he didn't want to go back. The next morning, I went to take him. That was a Thursday. As soon as we pull up, like in the same vicinity as her home, my son, he's 3, starts screaming, no, I don't want to go to Cindy. Cindy hit me like that. Cindy hit me like that, like 4 or 5 times. So I turned right back around, took him home, ended up quitting my job because of it, because I didn't want my son to feel threatened. That Friday, my girlfriend came down, got a cash advance from her credit card, gave me $300. We were at my house. Robert was there, and me and her drove over to Cindy's house. I had 3 $100 bills in an envelope. I knocked on the door, handed it to her, and walked away. Monday, I didn't show up. She called and asked where he was. I said, I'm not bringing him back. He says that you hit him.
Let me tell you why I have reservations about your story, Miss Ryan. Because according to you, on Thursday, you did not bring the child there because you said your son complained that the plaintiff had hit him in the mouth. Mm-hmm. It doesn't ring true to me that even though your son said that to you, the next day you would make arrangements to go and get $300, which is 2 full weeks of daycare when the child was only there for 6 days, and just walk up to her house without so much as a call. She didn't call you.
Well, she had been calling me prior to that, all day Thursday and Friday. She had called me, and she called my boyfriend, Robert.
And what did she say when she called?
She said that she was going to take us to court. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Why was she going to take you to court?
Because she wanted, I told her that I would pay her on Friday. I didn't get there till 6:30, court till 7 at night.
We weren't even home.
All day.
I have records of
she
her
called
phone calls of what was said between whom and how many times I had been hung up on. My husband was there when they were hanging up the phone. We actually used my husband's Nextel to make the calls because when we were calling from the house, they would not answer the phone.
Well, you prepared these?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I don't want to read them. Okay, Ms. Pettit, you do not have a signed contract with her that requires her to give you any notice at all? You may think you have a contract, but you do not have a signed contract. So forget the notice provision. By the way, Ms. Ryan, did your son start daycare again anywhere?
Yes, he's in kindercare now.
And when did he start kindercare?
The week of December 22nd.
So it was really just for a few weeks that he was out of daycare? Mm-hmm. Okay. And you had quit your job, you said?
Yes.
Are you back working now?
Yes.
Okay. She took care of your son for 6 days. 6 days at $30 a day is $180. That's what you owe her. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Case number 477 on the calendar in the matter of Hubbard versus Hubbard. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
You're Michael.
Yes.
Michael, the defendant is your father, and according to your complaint, when you were 16 or 17, you had a job.
Yes.
Or 2 jobs.
2, yes.
And you and your dad opened a bank account and deposited your money in the account. The money was all your money. You needed his signature on the account because you were a minor.
Yes.
And then there was some sort of a dispute involving your father and your mother, and they're divorced?
Separated.
And your father withdrew all the money from your account.
All of it but $2.51.
And how much money did you have in the account?
Before he withdrew it, I had $1,527.51.
Why did you withdraw your son's money?
$775 I drew out for room and board when he stayed with me for 2 months.
All right, so let's start with the $775 that you withdrew for room and board.
Yes.
When did he live with you?
From June 20th until August 20th.
And how old was your son in June of 2001?
17.
When did he turn 18?
December 11th.
You can't charge him for room and board. You're his father. You're responsible for him.
Ma'am, he was living with his mother at the time, and he came to, with her agreement, came to live with me so he could work. Mm-hmm. Before June, I was paying child support. Mm-hmm. And when he came to live with me, I just figured that I was entitled to the child support back.
You figured wrong. You may be entitled to child support back, but not from him.
When this all started out, I acknowledged to him that I was going to do this, and he had
I don't care what you acknowledged to him. And even if he agreed that he'd pay you room and board, even if he agreed, which he didn't, you can't hold a minor to a contract. I mean, I never heard of something so ridiculous in my life. Your son worked, he put money in the bank, he was saving for, I don't know, college, future, whatever. You decided later to withdraw money because you figured he owed you for room and board. Outrageous! What's next? What's next? $775.
Yes.
Room and board. What else did you take out?
Me and his mother had a dispute on child support that I owed. We went to court about that. And, you know, in order to get a lawyer, I told him I was going to take some money out to pay for their lawyer. That was because of another situation that was going on.
What?
His grades in school, that I was trying to get custody back for him.
Yes.
To make him do better in school.
So?
And I had to get a lawyer in order to do that.
So? You wanted him to pay for the lawyer so that you could get custody of him?
No, I did not want him to pay for the lawyer.
Well, but he did. That's what you just told me. You took money out of his account so that you could pay for a lawyer to get custody of him. Isn't that what you just told me?
Yes, I did.
Well, am I correct? I mean, when you cut through all the baloney, that's what it was.
But I told him I was going to do this in order to file for custody for him.
Well,
and when I told him that, he had no problem with it.
What do you mean he had no problem with it?
He didn't disagree or agree.
Mr. Hubbard, what do you do for a living?
I'm an electrician, ma'am.
Well, let me give you the facts of life, Mr. Hubbard. The facts of life are parents support their children and provide for necessaries for their children until their children reach the age of majority. Then, if they're really lucky, the children will take care of themselves. Only if they're really lucky. Most parents take care of their children even after they've reached their majority. They pay for college, they pay for books, they pay for clothes, they pay for trips, they pay for medical, they pay for dental, they pay for orthodontia, they pay for cars, they pay for gas, they pay for dating. When they're 19 and 20 and 21 and 22, and sometimes even until they're 30. You, on the other hand, want your child to pay for himself, for his room and board, as well as for a lawyer for you. Hello? Michael, your father is misguided. You're entitled to your money back, Michael. Now, I assume at this point you and your father aren't getting along too well.
No.
And I assume that it will take some time for that to work itself out, if it ever does. Maybe he understands that he did the wrong thing. Maybe.
May I say something else, you may?
Yeah, sure.
I got custody of him on December 14th, 99. His grades were falling bad. When I finally got custody of him, I made him do his homework, and his grades came up. And then his mother 9 months later, filed for custody back of him because I was being too hard on him. I was making him do his homework. I was making him tell me where he was all this time, anytime he was out. Well, that's too hard on him as far as she's concerned. So she got custody back of him, and I have his report cards here showing that when he was with me, he was doing better, and now that he's with her, he's completely failing.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 18-year-old Michael Hubbard says his father, Ray Hubbard, stole money from his bank account. Ray says he needed the money.
Your job as a parent is to do what is best for your child, to look into...
That's what I was trying to do. I had his interest in heart all the time.
Fine. Let us say I absolutely agree that you felt as if he needed a stronger hand in order to do his work so that he could do well in school, so that he could move on. You felt as if you had to, as a parent, fight for custody so that he would do better. Is that fair? Is that a fair statement, sir?
No, sir. No, ma'am, that's not what I was doing.
I thought that's what you were doing.
Well, I am, but as far as his mother is concerned, she won't let him grow up.
It doesn't make any difference. Well, you're not listening to me, sir. I said you felt as if you had to do what you did in pursuing custody of him because you felt as if it was in his best interest.
Yes, I still do.
And you still do?
Yes.
Good. He doesn't pay for that. You pay for that. That's a necessary, not for him. That's a legal necessary for you. You as a parent are supposed to do the right thing. You felt in your heart the right thing was that he lived with you. You would be a better parent for him at this stage in his life. Good for you. You pay for it.
I understand that.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,527.51. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
A parent should be more responsible.
It was in the best interest of the child.
A minor shouldn't have to pay for room and board.
I'm going to keep fighting it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bell versus Clark, step forward, please.
53-year-old William Bell is suing his girlfriend's former friend, 42-year-old secretary Elizabeth Clark, for having him falsely arrested. Elizabeth says William threatened to kill her. She is countersuing for harassment.
Mr. Bell, you are suing the defendant for having you falsely arrested on charges of threatening and harassing her. She is counterclaiming for harassment. Let me understand the relationship. You have a girlfriend, or had a girlfriend. The defendant is a friend of your former girlfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
You were having some difficulty with the girlfriend. You called the defendant to sort of act as an intermediary and to talk to her and see if you could put things back together again. The defendant then called the police and said that you had threatened her. You were arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you call her?
February 17th of 2001.
Had you ever called her before?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And tell me about the conversation that you had with her.
I didn't have a conversation with her. I got her voicemail.
Okay.
And I left a message who it was, and I was staying at Baymont Inn Motel. Could you please give me a call?
Why were you staying at a motel?
I had moved out of my girlfriend's house.
So you and your girlfriend had lived together and
Yes,
had
we're
a problem?
together now. Yes,
You are back together
yes,
now?
we've been together, yes.
So you went out and stayed at a motel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you left a voice message, and I assume she called you back.
She called me back, ma'am, approximately 4:30, 5 o'clock that evening.
What was the conversation?
Her first question was, when I answered the phone, is this Bill Bell? And I said, yes. She says, William Bell. And I said, yes, it is. Then she started getting very belligerent.
Don't tell me belligerent. That's a conclusion, Mr. Bell.
Okay.
Tell me what she said to you.
She was cursing at me for calling
Tell
her.
me what she said. I'm a big girl. I'm over 21. I know that's hard to believe, but I am.
You want...
I want the words she said to you, that you claim she said to you.
She called me I don't want to say it on the mother. A son
Yes.
of that I was going to get her fired from her job for calling her work.
When did you call her work?
I found out later that the number I called, which was her home phone number, is a work number at her home.
Okay, so first she cursed you, you say, because she called her at her work number. And then what did she say to you?
She told me that she was going to get even with me for calling her. And I apologized for calling and leaving a message on her phone.
Well, what message did you leave on her phone?
Just my name and the phone number where I was at.
Okay.
And I told her I was going to hang up. And she says, if you hang up, you're going to pay for it big time. And I went ahead and hung up anyway because I'd already apologized and she was still cursing me.
And when were you arrested, sir?
A while later that they had a warrant out for my arrest. And I talked to the police officer who had called the motel to get a hold of me and left a message.
No, look at me. Stop playing with your papers.
I called the officer back and he told me there was a warrant and I went down. It was, I believe it was in April. I went down and I turned myself in. Because I
didn't find out about this warrant until April?
No, ma'am.
What happened to the charges?
Well, the charges were dropped the 2nd of October because the defendant never showed up for court.
Okay. And do you have a copy of the complaint?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see that. And, Ms. Clark, I would like to see a copy of the police report that you made at the same time.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
And he called me more than one time.
Wait. I'm going to get to you, I promise you.
Sorry.
When did you advise the police of these phone calls, Ms.
It
Clark?
was probably the middle of February.
Okay, just 1 second.
Okay.
So you did not call the police the day that he made the phone calls, the day that you had
Yes,
the
I did.
conversation? Oh,
Yes,
you
I
did?
did.
So
I
you
did.
called the police the same day. All right.
Yes.
Now, Ms. Clark, I would like you to tell me, he left a message on your voicemail to call him. The message that he left on your voicemail was not threatening to you.
No, it's when I talked to him.
So I am correct. It was not threatening to you, and you knew who he was because...
This is the first time I've ever seen this man.
But you knew who he was because of your girlfriend.
Right.
That's what, just pay attention.
Okay, sorry.
Now, I want you to tell me your version of the conversation.
Okay. I work 2 jobs. I also work at a golf course.
Is this relevant to my question?
Yes, it is. He went in to my employer, who I have a letter from, was asking for my address and my phone number. Since then, I don't even know this man. He's taken me to court and put...
I want you, Ms. Clark, to answer my question.
Okay.
My question is, I want you to tell me what the phone conversation was when you returned his phone call.
He wanted me to get his girlfriend.
Tell me what he said.
He wanted to know if I would call Lou and get them back together, reconcile their differences.
And what did you say to him?
No.
Did you tell him why? Mm-hmm. What did you say? Tell me what you said.
I said, because I think that what you did was wrong, and I think she's better off without you.
And what did he say in response?
And then he got aggravated.
That's a conclusion.
Okay.
What did he say?
He said, well, that doesn't help me out a bit. And I really don't recall the rest of the conversation. It was a long time ago.
Well, you have to tell me the rest of the conversation. That's the basis of the...
Just more or less said that he wanted me to call Lou, and he said, you're the only one she'll listen to, and you need to get this situation taken care of for me or else.
At that point, did you hang up on him?
I don't recall.
Or did you have any further conversation?
He called so many times on my caller ID, it was...
Okay. Now, did you ever speak to him after that?
No.
You never spoke to him after that?
Nope.
And the conversation that you just relayed to me is, to the best of your recollection, the sum and substance of the conversation?
Yes, ma'am.
Then, Ms. Clark, I'm going to ask you the following questions.
Okay.
It's clear to me that you said, I'm not going to help you. He said, that doesn't help me any. You better help me or else. Those were pretty much his exact words, as you remember?
Yeah.
Then can you tell me why you told the police that he said to you, I will get you, I will kill you, just a second.
I'm sorry.
I will get you, I will kill you, and then I will kill myself.
That is true.
Well, Ms. Clark, I asked you 3 times.
I know, I'm sorry.
3 times what he said to you. Now, you got the police's attention, certainly, when you told the police, he said, I'll get you, and then I'll kill myself, and I'll kill Lou, and I'll kill everybody. It seems to me that that would be the first thing that you would say. Not forget it, but that would be the first thing. I will kill you is something that you remember, not I'll get even or you'll get yours, or I will kill you is something that sticks in your mind. in order to get to the police's attention, they say, well, you know, that's really not a threat. You know, you'll get yours is not a threat. I'll kill you is a threat that the police pay attention to.
I will get you.
I will get you is one thing, but I seriously doubt, based upon our testimony today, that he said to you, I will get you, which you didn't tell me. I will kill you. I will kill Lou, and then I will kill myself. Kill. That you remember, and that the police might respond to, but not, you'll get yours. Okay, now let's go back a second. You started to tell me that he's taken you to court 3 times.
Yes, yes.
Now I want you to tell me about the 3 occasions when he's taken you to court.
Okay, he has put 2 restraining orders against me. The first time that I went to court is when I pressed the charges against him. He didn't show up. So
when
that's
was
3
the first
times.
time that he pressed charges against
April.
April.
And then after he hadn't shown up twice for court, it was dismissed with prejudice on August 16th.
So in April, he filed a charge against you for something. For what, Mr. Bell? For what?
After this deal in
After the
February,
warrant.
I had all the telephone calls we were getting and hang-ups. We were getting calls 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Did you know where they were coming from?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you know where they were coming from?
Caller ID showed York Equipment.
Boy, you know, you think this caller ID was a wonderful invention, and it turns out it's used for all kinds of different things. All right, so he filed 2 restraining orders against you. You want to know something? It sounds like a little bit of an abusive process, but Ms. Clark, based upon what you did in having him arrested, I think that he was exercising probably restraint. I don't believe that there was any basis for you to have him arrested. I don't believe that he threatened to kill you. I believe that you got the police's attention. That's what I believe. Based on your testimony today, he never threatened to kill you. Never. All right. Miss Clark's statement to the police was designed to get their attention.
Because it was said.
No, it was not said, Miss Clark, because on 3 separate occasions, giving you every opportunity today to recount what he said to you, the most important thing would be, to any normal person, was he threatened to kill me by saying, I will kill you. I will kill Lou. Then I'll kill myself. Time and time again, all you said was, the last time around, you'll get yours, or I'll get you, or something like that. You left out, I'll get you.
That's after 10 or 11 calls, though, Your Honor.
Just a second. You never spoke to him again, madam. You spoke to him once, and then you said you did not take the other calls because you saw his caller ID.
He left messages.
He left messages. Let me hear them.
I don't have them.
Well, it also seems to me, Miss Clark, that if someone threatened you with bodily harm to an extent that you called the police, and then if you were listening to messages, you would retain them, bring the tape.
I don't have
so
the
that
tape.
there would be no, you would get a tape, so the police could listen to them and then pursue this matter, because then you're dealing with a real nut. He's suing you for $5,000, which he is absolutely entitled to, and I am granting his judgment for $5,000 against you, and I'm dismissing your counterclaim. That's all.
This is case number 502 on the calendar in the matter of Jeffers versus Barnett. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss Jeffers, some 2 years ago, the defendant, who was your boyfriend at the time?
Yes.
The 2 of you and a 3rd person were driving in a car. Was it your car?
No.
It was his car?
Yes.
And there was an accident. It is your claim that the defendant was actually driving that day, but for some reason he asked you to tell the police that you were driving.
Right.
And initially you did that. You lied for him. Very next day you say you reported to the police that you had lied and sort of straightened things out. Sometime later you got sued by the lady whose car was hit by the car that you were in. The defendant, according to you, promised that he would pay the damage. You say he did pay for a while and then stopped. The defendant says that, no, you were actually driving the car and that he did give you some money.
Yes, ma'am.
But it was only because he was being a good guy and he was your boyfriend. And he has a counterclaim because he says that you broke into his house and stole some of his property and trashed the house.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me, when was this accident?
On February 13th, 2000.
Was it a car or a truck?
Truck.
And was it 2 passengers in the front or 3?
3.
The 2 of you and who else?
His cousin Nathan.
Who certainly wants to be heard, right, Nathan?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
You sure about that?
Nervous.
Yeah.
Good. Where were you going?
I think we were going to look at some apartments in Edmond.
And it was his truck.
Mm-hmm.
Why would she be driving your truck?
I wasn't feeling right that day.
Tell me about it.
Ill.
What was wrong with you?
I was nausea to my stomach.
If you were nauseous, how come you were going to look at apartments?
Because we had to find another place to live.
You were
very
being
soon.
what?
We're being evicted from where we were
That
at.
sounds like a good word, after we were being. So you took your nauseous self and you put yourself in the passenger seat, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
No.
Tell me what happened.
We left the house. I was sitting in the middle. He was driving, and his cousin was passenger. We drove up to Edmond, and we turned west. We were going under a railroad crossing, and he rear-ended a lady. He jumped out because he had had a DUI.
How did he jump out?
As soon as we hit the lady, he just jumped out of the truck to go and check on her, and he just looked over at me and said, "You were driving." And I said, "Oh, okay."
When did he have a DUI?
I think it was November.
Did you have a DUI in November?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened with that case?
It was dismissed.
When?
Maybe a month afterwards.
So it was still pending at the time that the truck was in this accident?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
When the police came, I told them that I was driving. When we went home that day, I went to my grandma's and told her what I did. She said, "Well, you're going to have to make this right. You'll just have to go to the police department and tell them you were lying."
And did you do that?
Yes.
Do you have any proof that you did that?
Yes. I
Can I
have
see
a
it,
false
please?
information report. A year later, I was served by the lady he hit. I told her I wasn't driving, told her I had a false information report, and I talked to her lawyer, and I told him, and he said, "Well, that didn't matter." And so he was going to go to court with me and tell them that he was really driving, and then at last minute he changed his mind and said,
Well, tell me about that. Tell me about the conversation that you had with him. Did you tell him that you filed this report that you had
Yes.
lied to the police?
Yeah.
When did you tell him that?
I told him the same day.
What did he say to you?
He said, "I can't believe you did that. Your family's trying to throw me in jail," and he was just really mad about it.
What did he say to you when the woman contacted you a year later?
He agreed to go and tell them the truth. And then at last minute he decided he wasn't going to. He said he would just pay it off in payments to the attorney's office.
And what were the payments?
$150 a month.
What was the entire payment?
$3,344.87.
And at that time, was his DUI still pending?
I don't know. I just know he had a suspended license for as long as I'd known him.
Did he have a suspended license on the day of this accident?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. And how many payments of $150 did Mr. Barnett make?
I believe 6.
Is that right, Mr. Barnett?
Yes, ma'am.
And then he stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Did anything coincide with him stopping the payments?
We broke up.
And did you have a conversation with him about continuing with the payments after you broke up?
Yes. At the beginning of 2 months thereafter, I would ask him, "Will you pay this? Will you at least pay half?" And because I know it's part my fault, so I was trying to compromise him pay half. And
Why was it part your fault?
Because I took the blame in the first place.
That doesn't make it part your fault, that just makes you stupid. And he said, "Sue me."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Murray, where were you seated in the car?
Passenger side, by the door.
By the door.
Yes, ma'am.
And who was driving the truck?
Crystal Jeffers.
Miss Jeffers.
Yes, ma'am.
You're fibbing.
No, I'm not.
Sit down. I was being kind to you, sir.
I understand.
I don't like fibbers, especially in court.
Neither do I.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Stand up here again. I don't think I'm finished torturing you yet.
All right.
You his cousin?
Yes, ma'am.
You friendly?
Yeah.
Like each other?
Yeah, love him.
And your cousin was nauseous that day,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
So why didn't you drive?
Because I don't have a license.
Neither did he. Doesn't seem to make any difference in your family. He didn't have a license either. The reason he wasn't driving was because he felt nauseous, not because he didn't have a suspended license.
Can I speak, Your Honor?
Of course.
The reason I wasn't driving is because I felt ill. Just because I don't have a license didn't stop me from driving. That's not...
That's exactly what I said, Mr. Barnett. Why don't you pay attention, sir? I said it doesn't stop members of your family from driving. He said he wasn't driving because he didn't have a license. I said, neither did you. But the reason that you gave me for not driving that day and for having your girlfriend drive was not because you had a suspended license, but it was because you weren't feeling well. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Sit down.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Crystal Jeffers says ex-boyfriend Derek Barnett made her take the blame for a car accident he caused. Crystal claims he was driving on a suspended license and he didn't want to go to jail.
So now he owes you, because I don't believe him, I don't believe him, $2,444. That's what's left. Now, you're only suing for half of that. Can you tell me why?
Actually, when I made my thing in Oklahoma, I miscalculated, and it's actually $1,944.87.
Well, did you make any payments?
Yes, because if I didn't make any payments, they were going to suspend my license. So I had to make the payments.
So you're just suing him for what's left?
Yeah.
Psh, that's unfortunate, but your lawsuit only asks for $1,450.
Yeah.
He owes you a lot more than that. You're getting away cheap, Mr. Barnett, considering the fact it was your accident. Now, you want to tell me about your counterclaim, and that is that you say that the plaintiff broke into your house and stole some property. Why don't
I
you
have
tell
a
me?
witness, also my mother.
Step up. Your last name is Barnett?
No, it's Libby Slavic.
All right, Miss Slavic. When was this break-in, and what do you know about it?
It was in August, and I was driving by his home, and I noticed Crystal coming out of the front door with a box in her hand. And when she see me, she dropped the box, and they all got in a truck and took off. So I pulled around, and I called the police from my cell phone, because I had known that when they broke up, he changed the locks on the house because she made it obvious she was not coming back in June.
So what did you do?
I went back to his house and waited for the police, but before they got there, he showed up.
And what did you find, sir, when you went into the house?
There was trash scattered across my floor. My furniture was turned upside down. Everything was gone except for one piece of furniture. $300 cash out of my dresser drawer. TV, VCR, stereo, CDs, and movies.
What date had you broken up with the plaintiff?
It was 3 weeks, about 3 weeks earlier than that.
On what date in the month had you been paying this $150 for this car accident?
It was on the 1st of every month.
Had you paid August's payment?
Yes, ma'am, I believe at the time, yes.
Did he make August's payment?
No, I made August.
Let me see what paper you're looking at. You did not make a payment, sir. She made the payment in August.
Okay.
What are you saying no?
No, ma'am, she didn't. I mailed that for him, so I know for a fact he paid it in August.
Why was he making these payments, madam?
Because the woman that she had called me on the phone. She had told me that Crystal was driving the truck, and then she said that she got a call from the police the next day. Crystal had went down and filed a false police report.
That said that he was driving.
He was driving. He was not driving the pickup. Her witness even said that Crystal was driving.
Her witness isn't here, and she's not here.
Right.
And he was driving the truck,
that.
because if he wasn't driving the truck, he wouldn't have made these payments of $150 a month.
Well, Your Honor, I'm not going to sit here and say that
Right.
it was, because I wasn't there, so
Absolutely
I don't know.
right.
I wasn't there.
Absolutely right. I don't have to be there.
But I was driving by his house when I seen her come out of his home.
All right, now, Miss Jeffries, let me get to you. And you know, I'm pretty good at this stuff. You went to his house with some friends.
My mother, my grandma, my grandpa, and one of my mom's friends.
And what did you go there for?
To get my clothes and my furniture.
And it was your furniture?
Yes. My dad's mother that died gave it to me.
Did you take anything that didn't belong to you?
Come
on.
CDs and movies, but we bought those together, so I'm not sure who bought what, you know.
What about a TV and a VCR?
The TV I left there because that was his. His mother gave it to him. The VCR my dead grandmother gave to me, and a stereo my other grandma bought at a garage sale.
What else was taken, Mr. Barnett?
Everything that I named to you before.
What?
The TV, the VCR, the CDs, the movie, $300 cash out of my dresser drawer.
So all of that totals how much, sir, do you think?
$1,500.
You think if I were to add it up all together, I would probably slash that a little bit. In any event, Mr. Barnett, I'm not going to get into a long, protracted case on who bought what movies and who bought what stuff. All I will tell you is that since I believe that you owe her considerably more than she sued for, I'm giving you nothing on your counterclaim because she's suing you for at least $1,000 less because she didn't understand that just because she made the payments that she could have sued for that too. She's just suing for the balance that's left. So you get zippo, nada, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,450. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Crystal has this thing about lying when she's under pressure.
If you lie, you're going to get caught. And he was lying.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Horsford versus Conrad. Step forward, please.
44-year-old homemaker Cindy Horsford is suing her former friend, 34-year-old real estate administrator Christina Conrad, for an unpaid loan.
Ms. Horsford, according to your complaint, you've known the defendant for about 9 years. You met at a 12-step program, a recovery program.
Correct.
And there came a time recently that you became reacquainted with her after a lapse in time. She was in need of money, and you loaned her some money. She says she did borrow some money from you, not as much as you claim, but that you have her coat, which is worth more than what she owes you. So, when did she first ask you for money?
Probably August, July, August. Or... That's not true. It's either, it's maybe November, I'm not real sure.
August or November?
November might be more like it, yeah.
Go to November. So she asked you for money in November. Under what circumstances?
She had owed a man money that she had an accident with.
And how much money did you lend her?
$200.
Did you give her check or cash?
Cash.
And when did you again lend her money?
It was around...
Ms. Horsford, did you know you were coming to court today? Did you know you were coming to court today, madam? Well, you're coming to court. Listen to me. You're coming to court today because you had 2 loans that you made to the defendant. This is not a complicated antitrust case. You made 2 loans. Such and such a date, this much. This is when I made it, this much. Because the questions are going to get harder. These are the easy questions, Ms. Horsford. So when was the second loan? Let's give it to me again. Date and under what circumstances, madam?
The date was approximately the 18th of December, and it was for jewelry she had in the pawn shop that she had to make payments on her jewelry.
And how much did you give her that time?
Another $200.
Okay, and you also gave her cash?
Correct.
Anything else?
Yes, and I gave her an additional $60 after she had been asked to please leave.
Explain that to me.
Okay, I asked her to leave after about a week.
You mean she came to live with you?
Her daughter and her stayed for about a week.
Okay.
Which she insisted that I do.
Did she give you back any of that money?
Yes, she did.
How much did she give you back?
$50.
Now tell me about this coat that she says you have of hers.
She left a black leather jacket in my room, and I hung it up in my closet.
And it's still there?
I have it with me.
Oh, you have it with you? Great, so you can give it to her outside the courtroom.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Fine. Okay. Now, you gave her back $50?
$50, correct. And it was nowhere near the amount that she stated. She loaned me a total of $120, the bulk of that of which went towards getting my jewelry back, which she insisted on giving me. She stated that I stole $460. This was the original, what I was served. Now, if I stole it, my first question in my mind was...
Just a minute.
If I stole it...
Why did you write it that she stole money?
Because she wasn't going to pay me back. I figured that's stolen money.
No, it's loaned money. Do you have any proof that you gave her $460? Have any withdrawals from a bank?
No.
Well, where did you have this cash from?
I had it in my heart box in my drawer, and she knew where it was, too. I was saving
the
it.
heart box you couldn't find.
Well, I have a problem here. She acknowledges that she still owes you some money, like $70. Is that right?
Correct. And may I say something, Your Honor?
Mm-hmm.
I had money that was supposed to be coming to me by a certain date. It didn't. She had made several phone calls, leaving messages on my machine, asking to speak to my boyfriend. I left her the message and said, you know, can you please not involve my boyfriend or leave notes in my mother's mailbox? We're 2 full-grown women. It's between you and I. She went into an absolute tantrum, told me that she, quote-unquote, did not want to see my face until I had all of her money. And furthermore, wasn't going to keep her mouth shut. She was going to call my boyfriend and tell him whatever she felt like.
Go ahead.
When I got home that night, my boyfriend had gotten off the phone with her and was outraged about all kinds of allegations that she'd made, that I was chasing after her boyfriend, this and that.
Oh.
So I went to her a couple days later and knocked on her door. I had $70 cash. She goes, what do you want? And I said, I need my jacket. I was going to go on to say, and when you give me my jacket, I will give you your money. She slammed the door in my face, proceeded to throw a tantrum on the other side of the door, and I left and thought, let's just leave it lie, let the dust settle till after the holidays, and then I'll go back and reapproach the situation. Before that could happen, I got served with papers.
Okay. Bird, will you see to it that the coat is turned over outside to the defendant?
Sure thing.
Very good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $70. That's all.
Now, this is case number 522 on the calendar in the matter of Welsh versus Woods. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Miss Welch, you rented a room in your condo to the defendant. Now, I've read your whole complaint, and it appears to me that the primary reason that you evicted him was really twofold. The first one, and most importantly, you found him a little weird.
Right.
You also had him served with a restraining order, which had him removed immediately from the condo. Second, because you say he was not paying his rent. You claim that at the time he was evicted, he owed you a substantial amount for rent, $1,700 or more. Plus, he left the room a mess. You want cleaning fees and carpet fees, whatever. That's what your complaint is about.
Yes.
Mr. Woods says that you really had no basis to evict him, that he was really not so late in his rent. He certainly doesn't owe you anywhere near $1,700 in rent. He is counterclaiming for the return of his security deposit and also for defamation, because he says that you lied when you got the restraining order. That's your counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you rent this room to him?
He moved in on October 15th, 2001.
And how did you find him as a roommate?
Through a place called Housing Helpers, which is a roommate finding service.
Did he sign a lease?
Yes, he did.
Now, when he moved in on October the 15th, what was his rent?
$550 a month plus half of utilities.
And did he pay you half of October's rent?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did he give you a security deposit?
Yes, in the amount of $200, Your Honor.
Did he pay you November's rent?
Yes.
When did he move out?
February 12th, I believe.
Did he pay in December?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did he pay in January?
Your Honor, he gave me $200 towards bills in late January.
In November and December, had he given you any money for bills?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in January, the only money he gave you was $200?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to say that that's rent. So he owed you $350 for January.
For rent, Your Honor, yes.
And by the beginning of February, you had already told him to leave?
Yes.
Now, first I want you to explain to me how you get to $1,375 for rent money.
Well, the lease was signed through April 15th, and he could not come up with money starting January 25th is when rent was due. He also got fired from his job, so I knew that there was going to be no money coming in. I served him with the 3-day notice to pay or quit. He did not come up with the money.
Just a second. Are you telling me that this almost $1,400 that you say he owes you in rent is because he signed a lease through April and you want him to pay February, March, and April?
Because he's in violation of his...
Is that what you're saying to me?
Yes.
Forget it. You had him evicted. You had him evicted. You had him evicted, and now you want him to pay for rent when he wasn't there?
I had him evicted because he couldn't pay his rent. I couldn't have him living there for free, and a condition of the contract was that he's responsible for subletting.
Miss Welch, I want you to get that out of your mind.
Okay.
You evict a tenant, and you get a restraining order that prevents them from coming near your house, which is what you did.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Then you don't come to court and say, now I want him to give me the rent for the rest of the lease. Does that sound dumb to you? Does that sound dumb? Who knows? Maybe he would hit the lottery in February and he'd have plenty of money. This is not a new form of lottery, Miss Welch. Okay. Now, let's get the date that you went and made an application for the restraining order.
The restraining order was on February 4th.
Now, on what date did you serve him with his first 3 days notice to quit?
That was on February 1st.
Okay. Now, between February 1st and February 4th, what happened that made you feel threatened in order to give you the ability to get this restraining order?
Well, when he couldn't come up with the money, he refused to leave within the 3 days, and he began posting notes
around the house saying why he did not need to leave.
Well, let me see the notes that you have. I assume that you saved them.
On the notice to pay or quit, he wrote at the bottom of them, you should please think about what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Let me see. Okay, this says, the law protects my rights as well as yours. Think about what you're doing, or at least how you're doing it. Okay? It's not a threat.
He became angry, and he came to my bedroom door when I posted the notice to pay or quit, and I'm sleeping, and I wake up to him standing at the bedroom door and flipping the light switch on and off, which my computer was hooked into, so I could hear the computer turning on and shutting down. And this was not the first time that this kind of behavior had happened, and it was creepy to me as a female. And then I remembered a call from the Boulder police about a woman filing a complaint to him, and I thought for my safety I should check it out. So I went to the Boulder Police Department, and they gave me a copy of this police report filed by another female in the community. And it was really frightening to me.
Mr. Woods, was there any reason why you wrote this sexually explicit note to this person that you'd never had any contact with before?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the reason?
Because I found her attractive and wanted to have relation with her.
What kind of relations?
Friendship and sexual relations.
I mean, but you don't start out with this note by saying, you know, I'd like to have dinner, I find you attractive. You start out by saying, hey there, I want you right now, you make me so hot. I mean, is that the way to start out? Is that the way to start out with somebody?
No.
That's not the way people in a civilized society, you know, operate. They at least start out with, how about a drink, you know, or a cup of coffee. This would never work for you, right?
I'm a married man.
Cleaning fees. Sarah says she evicted Christopher after he began leaving sexually explicit notes around the house.
Now, in here, Miss Welch, you write in your application for this temporary restraining order, you write, Chris writes sexually explicit notes and leaves them lying around the house. Now, I would like to see an example of that sexually explicit note.
I have a couple examples.
Good.
One is sexually explicit, one is just kind of creepy. It's his observations of a stranger walking the dog.
All right. Can you explain this note?
Yes, I did pass the note to the lady with the dog, and she in fact gave me her phone number and told me to contact her.
That was a mistake.
You know, I don't know exactly what the note says.
She's talking about this lady who was walking a dog, and she had long, beautiful, dark hair that accents the sunlight. Nobody ever said that to me when I was walking my dog.
Very poetic, very poetic.
What does this say? I need some...
I need some.
These notes are a little creepy, a little strange. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I'm not going to go into it any further than that, but they are a little creepy. I think it's a good idea that you decided that he was to go, and if you decide that he was to go and he went, my question to you, Miss Welch, is why would you be so foolish as to sue him for nonsense? Why wouldn't you just chalk it off to bad judgment?
Your Honor, I'm a human services worker. I don't make a lot of money, and there was a lot of incidentals that added up, and it was...
Anything worth your safety?
No, Your Honor.
Well, then my question is, if you are frightened enough and concerned enough to get a restraining order against Mr. Woods, common sense would suggest that despite the fact that you may be on a fixed income, you don't make a lot of money, you would say to yourself, this was a bad idea, but I'm out of it. Why would you want to have any more contact with Mr. Woods by bringing a case where maybe he owes you $500?
Your Honor, I debated that myself.
So?
I understand your point, Your Honor.
Good. Now let me see the pictures of the room that he left and the damage that you say he did. How come you made such a mess on the carpet, Mr. Woods?
I guess I'm a messy person. I have no excuse for that.
Okay. Looks to me like you'd probably need new carpeting in the bedroom where he was. And as far as the paint on the walls, throw a coat of white paint on it, and you're all set. That should cost you about $17. All right, now let me see the bill for the carpet. $94. Okay, so now, as far as I'm concerned, he owes you $444. Mr. Woods, now let's get to your counterclaim. First, let's do the part dealing with defamation. Your claim for defamation deals with her application for a restraining order, is that right?
Yes.
Forget it. She had just cause to file an application for a restraining order. She says that you had come into her bedroom at least on one occasion, turned on the light while she was in there. You can't do that. Now, you want your deposit back. You gave her a $200 deposit, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to deduct the $200 deposit from the $444, leaving $244, because she's keeping your deposit, sir, because you made a mess of the carpet and you owed her some money for rent. Do you understand?
I understand.
He doesn't have to pay you for the balance of the lease. Certainly, some of these things were bizarre and weird, and I can, as I said to you, understand why you felt uncomfortable, and you probably did the right thing. But then you don't get an opportunity to sue him for the remainder of the lease because you had him evicted. So he owes you $244. So I assume that you've had enough of roommates.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very smart. If you can't afford to live there by yourself, and you don't bring in strangers into your house unless you really push to a financial wall. Okay, thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was very stressful. I couldn't sleep and was concerned about his presence.
Just so that people know I'm not a bad guy.
He ended up being a lot different than what he said he was.
I didn't want to hurt that lady by any means.
Every time I have confronted him on them issues, he got really agitated.
I didn't mean to offend them by the letters.
I just say rent to friends.
39-year-old business owner Jeff Beyer is suing his former employee, 22-year-old retail salesperson Jessica Borowski, for stealing company funds. Jessica says she didn't do it.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 449 on the calendar in the matter of Beyer versus Borowski. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Mr. Beyer, the defendant was a former employee of yours. She no longer works for you. She was terminated by you. It is your claim that while she was working for you, she misappropriated funds from your business. The defendant says she didn't do it. When did she start to work for you?
She started to work for me approximately 4/10 in the year of 2000.
And what was her job?
She was a secretary office manager.
What kind of business do you have?
I have a heating and air conditioning company and a real estate development corporation.
What were her duties?
She would do most of the office management work, write checks, mail letters, type things on the computer, answer the phones, things like that.
When was she terminated?
11/18/01.
Why?
Her annual review was 8/01, and at that time her job duties were lacking in her responsibilities of her job, and she had a poor review at that time. And with that review, I also began noticing that she was having many problems with taking paper, faxing copies of her husband's job resume, and stealing other items.
What other items?
I have some evidence here. We have QuickBooks. She was writing rebate checks to herself so that she could get the checks rebated in her own name.
That is totally untrue.
That's not what you're suing her for.
No, but it's part of the history of the evidence.
Okay. When did you discover that she had used company funds for her own purposes?
In February of the following year.
February of 02. Okay. Let me see proof.
Here's evidence of the order form.
What are these things? Chanel throws, baskets, Pooh honey pot lamp, Pooh prints.
Things that we wouldn't use in the heating company business, ma'am.
Are all of these things bills that are attributed to her?
If you'll notice, the person who placed the order is on the invoice.
Yes.
And they were all ordered by her.
Okay, and you're saying that the items that were ordered
Yes, ma'am.
were not items that you use in your business?
We do not use Chanel pillowcases in heating and air conditioning.
Okay.
And Pooh Bear cups, we don't use those either.
I'd like her to take a look at these, please. Have you ever seen these?
Absolutely. I'm not denying that I didn't order them, but they certainly didn't go home with me.
So you're not denying that you ordered these things?
Correct, ma'am.
And she would order things from this company for your business, but you say not these things.
No, we don't ever use that supplier. There's nothing that we could ever order through them for our company.
So you never used these people?
I didn't know the company existed.
Ms. Borowski, you ordered them?
Correct, ma'am.
Why?
To the best of my knowledge that I can recall, I must have been asked to order them by Mr. Byer. I did a lot of ordering of a lot of different things. On an occasion that I can recall off the top of my head, I ordered a necklace for his girlfriend's birthday on company funds. There were several things that were ordered through that business that were on company funds. My husband, which was working part-time for the business, in fact did deliver to Mr. Byer's home. Lots of things would come in and be delivered to the business and would go to his home.
Madam, when somebody asks you in your capacity as office manager, I mean, there are a lot of things here. There's not one or two items. There are a lot of little items. But you would get an order form for these things, correct?
They were all ordered over the internet. In my research and finding out what happened after the fact, I talked to the company. I had them send me copies of the faxes, which I have here, of what happened. She ordered them during the day on the internet at the office because it came to the internet address of our office. And the internet address is Jessica Borowski. And I have that here also.
Not your company.
She used the internet office name Jessica Borowski on our internet at the office.
Why did you do that?
I can't recall ordering anything off of the internet.
Can I see?
And they will not ship unless it's to an office.
These were all done within a relatively short period of time.
Excuse me, they were all ordered the same day. The shipping dates are different, but they were all ordered on one order. And how I found out that I was liable, the bill kept coming for the shipping charges. And at what time, when the bill kept coming, I kept sending the bill to her house. She refused to pay the bill. I saw my company name of GBR on the invoice, so I opened it up and found out that it was billed to me. I called the supplier up to find out what happened, and they told me, well, it was ordered during the day. Your company is responsible for the bill. I said I never ordered these items, and they said, well, yes, you do, because it came to your company.
Okay, I want you very carefully, Ms. Borowski, to look over these items, because they were, in fact, all ordered in November. They are all household items. Hands-free mini phone, an over-the-sink organizer. Clearly somebody was furnishing up a house.
Mr. Byer was building a house at that time. I do have pictures of that.
You don't need these things when you're building a house. These are things that you order when you already have the house built and you're accessorizing the house. So we're not talking about one item in 1 month, then another item another month. We're talking about somebody placing an order for all of these things. So you tell me, Ms. Borowski, why you think that Mr. Byer would pursue this matter, since he says, and I believe him, that he didn't get any of these things. But why do you think he would accuse you of doing this?
That I'm not sure why he would accuse me personally. I mean, well, I worked for him, so. But he ordered several things from several different companies all the time that were delivered to the business.
Several and not 35 items, all ordered the same day, all domestic products, Ms. Borowski.
I'm telling you that I mean, those are not mine. Those are not mine.
Go ahead.
I have the coupe de grace here, ma'am. This is a check that she wrote in her own handwriting and signed my name to the bottom of the check register. When she was terminated, the check register came up missing, and I'd like to also submit that there's also several other checks that you can see the difference in the handwriting and the signature on the bottom of the check.
I was authorized to sign checks.
You were authorized to sign checks in whose name?
In his name. If
you were authorized to sign his name?
He gave me permission to sign checks when things arose that he wasn't able to be at the office to sign a check for something, that I was instructed to sign his name to a check.
Is that right?
She did sign when we were out of the office, sometimes on an occasional basis. I will not deny that. It was with prior approval. Your Honor, I would not order a bunch of gifts for myself or my household and then sue her because I didn't get them, or just to sue her for the money.
So you wrote out a check for all these items and signed his name to it?
I could have wrote that check. I'm not denying that fact at all, ma'am.
Let's take a look.
Your Honor.
For the exact amount of the order, $676.
I'm not denying that I could have wrote that check.
After she was terminated, Your Honor, the packages came in, if you look from the order shipping dates, The packages came in a staggered amount. She was already terminated. She was no longer there. Her husband came in, Jeff, and picked up the package as they came in. They started strolling in.
You mean he actually came into the place and picked up packages that were
We
marked
called
for
them
her?
to come and pick them up. Yes, that's true. And he picked up, and I didn't know that I had paid for them until February.
I'm not denying that I ordered things from that company, but they certainly weren't anything that was on there. And I have a refund check that was sent to me that I paid for my part, and I overpaid them.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jeff Byer says he fired Jessica Borowski after he found out she was ordering things off the internet and paying for them with company funds. Jessica says Jeff ordered those items for his girlfriend.
Mr. Byer, is this a company that you ever deal with?
I never knew they existed until I got the billing.
You've gone over all of your back bills from the company to see whether you ever dealt with this particular company, and you did not.
No, I never knew they existed.
And the only order that came in was this order that was shipped on different dates, but all to her attention.
Exactly.
And after she was terminated, you called the house and said, come in, you've got some packages here.
Right.
And he came to pick them up.
Yes, they came in staggered. So we had to call him several times. When the billing kept coming, we kept sending the bill to her, and she refused to pay.
Now she's going to pay judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $676. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was the only employee there handling his finances. There was nobody else to hold responsible.
Evidence in this case shows that she's a pathological liar.
He was wanting to hold me responsible for his mistake of not depositing enough money.
It's a shame that you trust people and you pay them to do a job and then they steal from you.
People should be more careful who they do business with because this guy really is a crook.
Just watch over your shoulder.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Sharp versus Brennan. Step forward, please.
Food server Doris Sharp is suing her former live-in boyfriend, 39-year-old electrician John Brennan, for breaking a lease. John says Doris ran him out.
Ms. Sharp, according to your complaint, you and the defendant were in a long-term relationship. You lived together for many years, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Off and on.
And recently you signed a lease on a new apartment. And you both signed on the apartment. It was a year lease. The defendant left after a couple of months, and you want him to pay for his half of the lease for the remainder of the lease. The defendant says that it was either leaving or killing each other. Aside from that, he left you with everything that you had acquired during the course of this long relationship. When did you sign a lease on this apartment?
This is the third year we had signed.
And what was the rent on the apartment?
$540 a month.
And when did he leave?
In June.
Had you been having difficulty before he left?
Well, he couldn't get out. He was on house arrest, so he couldn't go out and do anything. So as soon as he got off of house arrest, which was in June, I said, you know, ever since you're off of house arrest, I never see you anymore. And he says, honey, you ain't seen nothing yet. And I never seen no money since then.
I asked you before he moved out in June. Had you been having trouble?
No.
What was he on house arrest for?
Violation of probation.
What kind of probation?
It was a drug-related charge.
Had he spent any time in jail?
Yes, he did.
How long, sir?
I did 7 months out of work release.
Tell me why you claim you left, Mr. Brennan.
Well, the relationship was just, it was getting over. It was over. And there was a point of just getting out before a bad situation got worse. I mean, it was over. And one of us had to go, so...
So why did you sign this lease in June?
I don't think the lease was signed in June.
It's right here. Let me see, Bert. It's right there. Thank you.
I thought it was in April. But...
It was in April. You are correct, sir. All right. How large an apartment is it?
It's a one-bedroom, it's a little less than 800 square foot.
Okay. Do you work, Ms. Sharp?
Yes, I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a server at Ryan's Steakhouse.
And how much do you earn a year?
$15,000 a year.
Do you have family in the area where you're living?
I have my daughter.
What do you plan to do when this lease is up?
Well, Your Honor, I wouldn't have been in a big bind, but when I came home, I spent $1,000 on my vacation, and he knew it. I've always went and seen my parents. It was my money I worked hard for, and I planned on paying it off. But then he's gone, and I'm missing $270 plus half the electric. And
I asked you a question, Ms. Sharp.
Okay.
What do you plan to do after your lease?
Try to look for a smaller apartment.
How can you find a smaller apartment? You have a one-bedroom apartment.
They have them They have smaller bedrooms where you can get off the lake. It's cheaper.
How much cheaper?
$100.
Okay. So you could move into an apartment that would cost you $100 less a month that you plan looking into, right?
Yes.
But you plan on staying there.
Yes, I'm staying there right now because it's too hard for me to move right now.
Listen, so you have to live someplace, Miss Sharp.
Yes, that's why I'm there.
Of course, you have to live someplace. Now, if you said to me that you took a 2-bedroom apartment because you needed lots of room, I would say to you, well, it's possible that you could look for a roommate, to help you with your expenses. You want to say something?
Yes, I do.
Who are you?
I'm her daughter.
Well, you step up. I'm going to hear you
Your
briefly.
Honor.
It better be relevant.
It will be. She wants to move to a lesser apartment. She can afford $400 a month. The smaller apartments at Carlton Arms, Your Honor,
She
are
just told me.
efficiencies. She's nervous, and that's all. They're just not available, and it would cost her more to move, Your Honor.
I need a $1,000 deposit someplace. Can't come up with that kind of money right
Sit
now.
down.
Yes, ma'am.
He's got the key to the apartment too. He can come and go when he wants.
Just to say, he's not coming and going anywhere. He can always change the locks on the apartment.
No, I already asked that. I asked if I could change the locks on the
Where's
apartment.
the key?
And they
It's in my
said,
jacket pocket.
He'll turn it over.
I will.
Listen to me.
Yes.
Just relax yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
I mean, these people
I
are
just
together
wanted to say
for me.
one more thing. That's
no,
all.
you don't have to say anything else.
Okay. Yes.
I want to know, Miss Sharp, over the years that you were together, Mr. Brennan says that he and you together furnished your apartment. Is that true?
yes, Your Honor, it was so good. It cost $50. All 4 chairs you could rock on like a rocking chair. And
Let me ask you a question. Do you have a television set?
Yes, I do.
What kind of television set do you have?
I got a 13-inch in the kitchen and another one in the living room.
Okay. And you bought that when you were together?
Yes, but he bought the stereo, so he took the stereo, which was the same price as the TV.
Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Well, then what furniture and household items do you say that you paid for jointly with Miss Sharp?
Everything.
Well, let me hear. Give me an
Well, I
example.
mean, there was a full kitchen. I mean, you name it. I mean, just dishes, silverware, just everything that you would find in a house.
Okay. So dishes, silverware, everything that you...
juicers, blenders, toaster ovens, I mean, everything that you'd have in a house. I only took my personal stuff and the stereo. That's all I took.
Okay. What about the living room furniture?
I didn't take any of it.
I'm asking you, did you buy it together?
Yes.
I went and got it while he was in jail for $25 at the Goodwill. The whole house is furnished with Goodwill furniture. Everything.
Is that right, sir?
I don't know where she got it.
Yes. The
Well,
couch
I
cost
don't know what you're talking about, a
$25.
couch. I don't,
Have bedroom furniture.
We're going back
The
6
bedroom
years.
furniture, I paid $70 for it from a friend. $70 for the whole thing.
Mr. Brennan, how much do you claim you spent over all the stuff that's in the house?
I wouldn't have an idea. To replace it, I don't know.
And the only thing that you took out of the house was the stereo?
Which was mine, yes.
What do you mean, which was yours?
Well, I bought that, and we bought her a television, a 27-inch television that I left there.
So you bought that together? And you bought the stereo with joint
Yes.
money? So that's,
Yes.
that's sort of an even swap?
yes.
Well, then I'm talking about the other stuff, Mr. Brennan. One of the things that you said that was appealing to me, quite frankly, is that you walked out of the house carrying your suitcase with your underwear in it, and you left her everything else in the house that you had accumulated over the 6 years that you were together. I just want some idea of what the value of that stuff was.
I can tell you the value. Probably everything, $200.
No, I don't believe that's true, Miss Sharp.
The chairs you rock in, you can
Miss
rock
Sharp,
away
Miss
on
Sharp,
it. He would have
pay
taken it
careful
with him.
attention to me, madam. You have to buy sheets, you have to buy towels, you buy dishes, you buy
There's
silverware,
Goodwill.
you buy...
I buy
Well,
everything at Goodwill. It's true.
Yeah.
I'm a Goodwill shopper.
Oh, good. Put your hand down, madam. I'm not interested in what you have to say.
Yes, Your Honor. I
Perfect.
apologize.
Mr. Brennan, you have to make some accommodation to Miss Sharp with regard to this lease that she's on, but she has to do whatever she can to sort of limit your responsibility. I don't believe two people should live together, especially if they're not married, when there's at least a possibility that there would be violence in the household should you remain together. Miss Sharp, you're going to have the luxury of living in a larger one-bedroom apartment for the next year at the same price as it would cost you to live in the smaller one-bedroom apartment that you say is not now available, but if it were available, you would move into. That means that Mr. Brennan is going to support this current apartment to the tune of $100 a month for the 12 months of the lease, or $1,200. Do you understand? Not the $3,240 that you're looking for, because you're going to stay there anyway, albeit perhaps in a smaller apartment. I'm not giving you any credit, Mr. Brennan, for the items that you left. First of all, there's not a counterclaim. You can't account for exactly how much money that was. Otherwise, in a living together situation, I would say, listen, you have bills, you have receipts for what you left. I will look at that. I'll cut it in half if you both contributed and deduct that from the $1,200.
I wasn't looking for that. I just wanted this to be over with.
Good. Now it's over with. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,200. That's all.
Yeah, this is case number 408 on the calendar in the matter of Moncrief versus Stamper. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Oh, your complaint and your answer, counterclaim, gave me a headache. You two people lived together for about 2 years?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Not even a year and a half.
Here we go.
We lived together
You lived together for a while. You have several complaints, Miss Moncrief. First, you say that he, at some point, had a rental car that belonged to you, took you to the airport. He was supposed to return the rental car. He didn't return it right away. He wrecked the rental car, and you had to pay certain monies to the rental car company.
It hasn't been paid yet. It's in collection.
Okay. He acknowledges he wrecked the car, right?
Yes, I do.
Your defense to that claim is that previously she had intentionally wrecked your car so that you had an agreement with her that you were going to call it even.
The damage was going to cost the same amount. Both cars were totaled, so...
Okay, so let's start with that one complaint. It's acknowledged that you drove her to the airport in her rental car and that you totaled the rental car that she's responsible for.
Yes.
Now let's hear your defense to that, sir. Tell me about when she totaled your car.
It was in September of 2000.
Yes?
And we were arguing. She got mad,
Look at me.
ran outside of the house, got in her car, started to take off, followed her outside, and I did flip her off, and she stopped her car, put it in reverse, and tried to run me down, and in the process, ran into my car.
That's not true.
Okay, well, tell me what happened in September of 2000 with his car.
We were arguing over trivial things, and I decided to leave. It was escalating. When I tried to get my things, he got physical. So I gathered up as much as possible. I went out to my car. When I went to leave, he jumped off the porch, jumped on top of my car, was kicking it and punching it and screaming. So I backed out as fast as possible. I'm not denying that I hit his car. I did back into it. It wasn't intentional. Then I took off. He jumped in that same vehicle and drove after me. It turned into a high-speed chase. I went to her mother's house, Candace Thompson, in order to go to safety.
So what you're telling me is that he jumped on your car, which caused you to pull out and hit his car. So you acknowledge that you hit his car. Did you ever discuss paying for the damage that was done to his car?
What we decided was there was 2 different times that I bailed him out of jail for different things. It was $500 a piece. He paid me back for the first one. He did. Then the second one, he decided that we would just call it even because it was a few $100s damage. It was his light and the fender. He then sold that car to his friend who is now driving it. There's nothing wrong with it. It wasn't totaled. And so we agreed that we would call it even on the bond, the bail, that he wouldn't pay me back for that, and I wouldn't fix his car.
Where is that car now, sir?
That car was sold to my friend.
Did you sell the car while the two of you were together?
No, we weren't together.
Well, you got back together again after this incident with the car.
No.
Well, you had to because you drove her to the airport later, sir.
We were friends. We lived
then
in
you were
separate
friends.
rooms inside of my home. We lived in separate rooms.
After September of 2000, did you collect any money from her for the damage to your car?
No.
Did you sue her?
No.
Good. Forget it. Let me see the estimate, what you have to give the insurance company for the car,
It
please.
started out $8,000, and then they covered some of it. So I have pictures
Just
as well.
tell me what you owe on the car.
It's $1,166.76.
Oh, okay. And is that what that says? Show Bird.
Yeah, it says 1031, but then there was interest accumulation. It went to collection.
Show him.
Okay. Right here. 103100. It's all
Plus interest. Is that what it says, Bird?
1031.
Very good. Okay, so
I'm
that's
sorry
you owe her,
about that. I
Mr.
couldn't-
Stamper. Now, you're suing him because you say he assaulted you.
That's correct.
When did he assault you?
The initial assault was June, which I have the report, and this was from the police. This
What do you
is-
mean the initial assault? How many assaults are you suing him for?
Well, there was another one afterwards. This was the one that happened first when we decided that one of us needed to move out. He gave me 30 days to get out, which, I mean, I guess that's kind and all. Before my 30 days was up, another assault took place, which she
What are you
witnessed.
complaining about? Which assault are you
This one,
complaining
right
about?
here.
Fine, let me see it.
There was no evidence. He took the whole mirror with him
when he left the apartment so that I would have no evidence to show that it had taken place.
Your Honor.
Shh. You called the police immediately?
Yes, I did.
Now tell me about this assault. When did it take place?
It was June 13th.
Tell me what happened.
We were discussing things. I had just found out that I was pregnant that day. I had gone to the doctor's office. I have like the prescription for prenatal vitamins that I received the next day just to prove. Anyways, I told him that I was pregnant. He didn't really believe me, didn't want to believe me. We got into an argument about it. There were other things that came up, and we didn't just argue about that. He got really upset, and he pushed me into a mirror that was leaning up against, there was a window behind it, and it was kind of slanted, leaning up against it. He pushed me into it, and it shattered. He was just pushing me around. It never came to a hit or a slap or anything like that.
So what are you suing him for?
Just the assault, the damages. I had a miscarriage.
What damages did you have?
I had a miscarriage.
Not as a result of that.
Yes. It wasn't just the assault, but it was all the stress that came from then to...
Stress I don't want to hear about.
Stress causes miscarriages.
What do you want the court to do about that, madam? You stayed with the stress. Listen to me. It's my grief. I've just looked at the domestic violence report the police took. The police came immediately after you called them. They saw absolutely no visible marks on you whatsoever. That's stated in the police report. You are claiming that sometime thereafter you suffered a miscarriage because of all the stress.
On top of that assault, yes. And there was
Well, you don't have a medical report that says that as a result of this assault you suffered a miscarriage. Do you have that?
No.
Of course not. Stress. A lot of people are
stressed. Stress from him telling me that I'd be an unfit mother and he wanted me to get an abortion. I mean, that's not normal stress. That's not things you need to hear while you're pregnant.
Shh. Listen to me.
That is completely
Listen to me. It's free speech. He can say to you that he thinks you'd be an unfit mother. He can say to you that this was not part of our agreement, that you were going to become pregnant, want to discuss an abortion. He can say that to you. Doesn't mean you have to go through with it. He has a right to say that. You have no claim with regard to this assault.
Your Honor, he has always claimed that he would love to have a child. I'm sorry, I just...
Speak.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lindsay Moncrief says ex-boyfriend David Stamper physically abused her on 2 separate occasions. She also says David wrecked her rental car.
Now, Mr. Stamper, let's hear it.
My countersuit goes on the lines of stolen property.
Tell me about the stolen property, Mr. Stamper.
When she had me arrested for the alleged assault, there was a no-contact order issued. I didn't want to break that because I'd be thrown back in jail. She lived in my home. She didn't pay rent. And everything in my home at the time, I couldn't get it out because I couldn't go to my home because she was there. She took everything I owned out of that home.
Like what?
Like a king-size bed, a couch, a love seat, an entertainment center.
Shh. Yeah.
All my housewares, dishes that my mother gave me from
When did you finally get back into the house?
I never did. She got kicked out of the apartment because she wasn't paying rent.
That's not what happened.
When did she allegedly steal this property?
In July.
You just started missing it 7 months later?
Well, no, I just didn't ever get around to suing her until then.
Your Honor, he was in jail until that time.
I did spend quite a bit of time in jail over this, and I had other issues that I had to take care of.
Ms. Moncrief, where is this furniture that he's talking about?
There was no entertainment center.
Forget entertainment center. There's some property there.
The love seat and all that was mine. The couch, I paid it was $40 for a bed. All the other stuff, all of his clothes and any other belongings, Natalie, who's sitting over there, she came and picked them up. I grabbed everything out of the closets. I even had her look. Is there anything else that's his?
Natalie, step up, please. Did there come a time when you went over to the apartment to retrieve some of the personal property of the defendant?
Yes.
When was that?
Well, there was 2 times, actually.
So you went over there twice?
Yes.
On each of the occasions, did you take some property with you?
Yes, I did.
Did you take clothes?
Yes.
Did you take personal effects, papers?
No, actually, there was no papers, just clothes.
And there was hardly any clothes left when I got them. I mean...
What date did you go over there?
It must have been sometime in October.
In October? And you were incarcerated in what month, sir?
July, August, and part of October as well.
What happened to September? September follows August.
I'm sorry, September, part of September.
And what about October?
October, I was free.
I misspoke, actually. It was in September that I went. It was like right in the middle of his jail time.
But you didn't go immediately to retrieve his clothes?
Not immediately, because I wasn't aware that he actually had been put in jail.
You have any of his property?
No, I don't. Well, I have one thing. It's a big hammer that has a solid hickory handle or something. That's it.
You want that?
I'll take every bit of my property I can get back.
What else do you have that belongs to him?
That's it.
That's it? A big hickory hammer? You get it to him in 72 hours, please.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean...
What?
Everything I owned was in that home. When she moved out, she took all my stuff. I don't
You said
have any.
that you were out of jail in September. Is that right?
Yes.
September, October, November, December, January. It's 5 months later. Evidently, the stuff that you want was not that important to you to wait 5 months to sue for it. You got it?
Yeah.
Good.
What comes with my car? I mean, just the parts alone, I have
don't care.
an invoice here that shows that it's over $1,400 for the
I don't
parts
care.
that she wrecked on my car.
I don't care, sir. Let me explain something to you. You had a fight with her. She said she jumped on the hood of her car. Whether that happened or not, I'm not sure. It's very possible. After this incident with the car, you continued to cohabit with her?
I moved to Boise.
You moved to Boise, but somehow
Yes.
you must have gotten together again because she
Okay.
said she was pregnant.
That's where
Listen to me carefully.
she was never
Somehow-
pregnant with my kid. Never.
You say, are you
she
telling
never
me that?
produced evidence that she's pregnant.
Listen to me. Are you telling me it's impossible?
Yes, I never had sex with her for months and months.
Please, give me a break. Your counterclaim is dismissed. So is your claim for emotional distress as cause for a miscarriage of your child. Choose more carefully next time. I suggest you do the same, sir. He owes you for the car, period. And she owes you for nothing for property that you waited 5-6 months to even miss. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Why is that excused? You may step out.
Everything he said is ridiculous.
She just can't leave me alone.
How can he not have had sex with me? I was pregnant. He was the only person I was with.
It's a small price to pay to get rid of her.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Allen versus Phoenix. Step forward, please.
35-year-old caterer Dan Allen is suing 25-year-old office manager Destiny Phoenix for slander. Dan claims statements made by Destiny caused him to lose business.
All right, this case is really in 2 parts. So let me try to explain it as I understand it and tell you why it's in 2 parts. Mr. Allen, you have a small catering business. You make burritos, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had the defendant as a client, which means that you would come up in your truck every day
Yes, ma'am.
where you made your burritos, and you would get orders from the personnel that worked in her office.
Right.
You would make the burritos, and you would do this not only for her company, but for others.
Correct.
It is your claim that because of things that she said about your business, which were untrue, you lost her business. And in addition, the second part of your claim is that she made defamatory remarks about your business to other businesses who used your service, and they also canceled your service. Now, did you have a contract with the defendant?
A written contract? We had a verbal contract.
And what was the verbal contract, sir?
That would be okay for me to come by every day at a certain time to sell my food.
So that is a day-to-day operation. You didn't have a year's contract with her, a 6-month contract with her, so she could say to you, I don't want you to come into the place anymore to sell burritos, or I'm not going to use your service because, I don't know, because we don't like burritos anymore. So she doesn't have to give you any reason whatsoever.
That's correct.
So the first part of your lawsuit is dismissed. And the second part of your lawsuit is that she made untruthful statements about your little business to other people, therefore causing you to lose business. So you have to establish to my satisfaction, first, that she made the statements to other businesses, and second, that the statements she made were untrue. Do you understand what your legal burden is?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me first, what statements can you establish that she made to other businesses that used your service?
Sure, I have a witness, Chris Laro, who I've been servicing food to for the past year and a half approximately, and I'm there every day. And I was there about 15 minutes after I was at Destiny Phoenix's business. So he saw me that same day. This is regarding the fact that she said I reeked of beer. He would definitely have noticed that.
Oh, no, don't tell me. Step up, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
Chris Laro.
Mr. Laro.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
kind of business do you have, sir?
I am actually a law clerk at a law firm that Mr. Allen services. I am not the witness. I don't believe that he would like to call to prove the defamation. I'm here as a character witness only to prove that I have not seen him ever smelling of alcohol, that he's maintained a professional
So is
business.
what you're telling me that Miss Phoenix never made any statements to you
That's correct, ma'am.
with regard to Mr. Allen's job?
That's correct. Mr. Allen has a written statement from
I don't take written statements.
Okay.
You understand that you're a law clerk.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to law school now?
Yes, I am.
What year are you in, sir?
I'm in my 3rd year.
So you know a little bit about hearsay.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And what are written statements?
They are out-of-court statements offered for the truth of the matter asserted.
Correct. And according to the rules of evidence, sir, that would be inadmissible. Is that right?
Yes, it would.
Thank you. So far, you're halfway to passing the bar. Mr. Allen, do you have any other proof, sir, that the defendant made statements to any other business which were untrue, which caused you to lose business?
I believe she referred to the fact that I did not have a food license in this recording that I have of her that she left on my phone.
I'm not talking about your phone, sir. I'm talking about other people who your business serviced.
I just have a written statement, and I just have my food license here to prove that I have a food license.
You have to be able to establish to me, sir, that the defendant said to a third party something about you that wasn't true, which caused you to lose business. There are certain rules which your witness knows about, which courts will accept an out-of-court sworn statement. What is the reason that that person cannot be here today?
He did not want to take off work.
That's not a reason, sir.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Laro, anything else you want to say? I would love to do this legal exercise with you, sir. It's been a slow day so far. Go ahead.
I fear of taking a beating on national TV, but nevertheless, I think that in the interest of allowing this court to look at the totality of the circumstances here, possibly the court could let him admit this hearsay statement, the facts that we are here in small claims court, and the federal or state rules of evidence are a little bit lax for small claims court. I think that you would be able to see that it was relevant and authentic, Your Honor.
One of the reasons that we do not allow out-of-court statements, sir, only under very, very strong criteria, is because it does not allow the defendant to cross-examine the maker of that statement. That means that if I were to look at that statement, I would have to, in my own head, say everything in that statement is true, because it does not give Ms. Phoenix an opportunity to ask any questions, or for me, on her behalf, like I'm asking Mr. Allen questions, to ask that person questions. That's the reason why we do not permit hearsay statements, because it's inherently unfair to the other side. And the fact that this is a court program that happens to be televised does not obfuscate the need to have reliable evidence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right? Reliable evidence. Hearsay evidence is inherently unreliable. So that your case is dismissed, Mr. Allen.
Yeah, this is case number 455, sorry. In the matter of Jenkins versus Moon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Jenkins, the defendant is your former girlfriend.
Former acquaintance.
Did you date?
No, not really. I mean, we just basically just seen each other, spent some time together.
And it is your claim that she not only assaulted you in your home, but also purposely vandalized your car.
Yes, Your Honor.
When did this happen, sir?
It started the night of January 14th, and ended up on the morning of January 15th.
And where did it start on the 14th?
I came to pick up Miss Moon from her for her place of residence at her friend's house. She had basically presented me this letter, basically stating her demeanor and her well-being.
What? I don't understand that. Let me see the letter.
Okay, here you go.
You went to pick her up at the place where she was living?
Yes, Your Honor.
What time?
It was about 8 o'clock, Your Honor.
Were you going out that evening?
No, she was basically just coming over to my apartment.
For what?
Probably just to spend some time.
And you would receive this letter before?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, clearly, Miss Moon thought that the relationship was more than just being an acquaintance.
Sure, Your Honor.
So after you read the letter, in which she tells you that she loves you,
sure,
and that you hurt her feelings, and that you don't love her back, and that you're not careful with her feelings, then you were taking her back to your house to hang out.
We had basically were discussing some confrontations of the letter.
You were discussing what?
The letter. And basically of my feelings towards her.
What did you tell her your feelings were?
I do not take love for granted, and I was not going to tell Miss Moon that I love her when I did not do so, and I was not going to string her along like that.
So what'd you take her back to your house for?
To spend some time.
And what happened when you got to your house?
Basically, we had continued to discuss some more things. She had basically told me that she had a present for me. She let me open up the present. I seen what the present was.
What was it?
A tape.
A tape. Okay.
A videotape, Your Honor.
Okay.
Seen the videotape, and pretty much I knew where she was coming from once I seen the actual videotape.
So
that she had purchased.
I assume it was a sexually explicit videotape from the way you're avoiding the subject.
I guess that would be a good assumption, Your Honor.
Okay.
I mean, I try to avoid that, but...
Did you watch the tape with her?
Yes, Your Honor.
And after you watched the tape with her, what happened?
We had...
Look at me when you're talking.
Yes, Your Honor. We had actually became a little bit intimate, but it got to the point to where she was more like, no. Okay, well, why? What's going on? And she had priorly told me about how she had went to go take a pregnancy test that she was happy about, so to say, that she wasn't pregnant. I had seemed very relieved, but then she got upset again. It was more like, well, why are you so relieved? And I'm like, well...
And this was the discussion you had on the 14th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now let's move it along to when you say she attacked you.
The discussion got to where she left the bedroom, and I followed her out of the bedroom. She continuously was loud, disrespectful, yelling, cursing at me. I'd asked her to stop many a times. So we got to the point to where I had asked Ms. Moon to leave. I basically was fed up of her actually being very disrespectful. Ms. Moon actually taking her time as to where she wanted to leave my apartment. I had basically started removing her things onto my front porch.
So she said she didn't want to have sex with you, so you were throwing her things out the door.
No,
Is that...
that's not true, Your Honor.
Well, that sounds... I mean, when you cut through all the baloney that you're giving me, sir, you followed her out of the bedroom, right? Because she's
Sure,
still
Your Honor.
saying no. After you watch this video and everybody's all charged up and their juices are all flowing, at least yours were, she's arguing, you don't love me, I love you, you don't give back, take your stuff and get out. You gathered up her stuff and you threw them out the front porch.
That's not true, Your Honor. I asked her to leave my apartment because she was cursing at me, yelling at me, screaming at me, and also banging things on
There
my
had to
floor.
be something happened in between, sir. If she said no, 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 I changed my mind. You must have said something. You said, how come you changed your mind?
Something along the lines is where, why? What's going on? Why are you acting so different? And then she started telling me more things about how she had a discussion with her friends, how she basically had felt that I had never felt for her.
Well, yeah,
Seriously, anyway.
she was clearly right because you described your relationship with her as one of an acquaintance.
True.
An acquaintance is somebody, you know, you go in, you meet at a butcher. You say, hello, how are you? How's your family? That's an acquaintance. That's not a friend. Someone who is just an acquaintance isn't somebody that you worried that maybe the pregnancy test, the rabbit died. That's not an acquaintance.
It was a little more than an acquaintance.
Ah, okay.
Just a little more.
Let's get to the assault, sir.
Miss Moon had finally agreed to actually leave the apartment. And she basically, on my front porch, and she had basically let me know and indicated to me that she had left her glasses in my apartment. I said, well, here, just wait here. I'll go get your glasses. I said, I'm not going to do anything to your glasses. Miss Moon didn't want to hear that. She basically wanted to come into the apartment. And from then on, I had stopped her. And she had continuously brushed past me for the second time. Once she had brushed past me for the second time, it was a point to where I was basically holding her off with my forearm, like so. By doing that, she came past my elbow. This is the weaker part, whatever, and that's where she got to the point to where her head was down, and she had bit me right here on my chest and my shoulder area. Once she had done so, and she was not letting go, it was clear that she was not going to let go. I had needed to get her off somehow. So the best way I knew how at that point was to actually put my hand around her neck. I didn't necessarily choke her, but at the point I held her tight enough to where she actually let go. And once she actually let go, I threw her off of me, and she was basically on the front porch. Once she was on the front porch, she called me some obscenities, whatever, and basically had let me know, well, I'm pregnant anyway, so I hope you take that, whatever. Stood there, watched her as she walked down the stairs, as while she's yelling and shouting, whatnot, obscenities. Watched her actually break my cologne bottles, which I have here, that she broke over my car. I have a picture of my car. And she basically was kind of like provoking me to come out there and kind of like do something about what she had actually done to my car.
Was she downstairs already when she threw the bottles at your car?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many bottles did she throw at your car?
2.
Okay, let me see the damage to the car.
It's not necessarily the best of pictures, Your Honor, but however, I can't point
They're all
out.
you got.
I also went to go get estimates of how much it would actually cost to get my car repaired. Here's are the estimates. And these are the bite marks that night.
Okay, and according to your complaint, you went and were treated the next day at the hospital or an emergency?
Yes, sure. I was treated at Mount Carmel East in Columbus, Ohio. And these are my medical bills.
All right, Miss Moon, let's hear it.
Okay, he was supposed to come get me at 8 o'clock. The reason I wrote that letter is because he told me I will be there at 8 o'clock, and he didn't show up till midnight. So I wrote the letter because I was sick of it, you know what I mean? And we sat and we had a discussion at my place until we didn't leave until 1 o'clock. We got to his apartment. We started to watch the movie, but his VCR doesn't have any tracking, and we couldn't watch the movie. And I had to go to work the next day at 10 o'clock. He was supposed to take me, and I told him, I'm ready to go to bed. I just want to go to sleep. And he started asking me why, and I said, because I don't feel like it. So automatically that means I'm sleeping with somebody else. I became all these and everything else.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
I wasn't having it.
Did you see how quiet she was?
She was, I mean, if I can't sit there.
Did you see how quiet she was when you were testifying?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's how quiet I want you to be.
But I wasn't lying to her, though.
Just a second. What word that I said didn't you understand?
I understand clearly now, Your Honor.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brian Jenkins says, after an argument with former friend Tia Moon, she assaulted him and vandalized his car. Tia says Brian tried to strangle her, so she bit him.
And so I asked him to take me home, and he refused. I asked him about 3 or 4 times, just take me home, please, just take me home. He wouldn't take me home. And I started to get my stuff. He started taking it and throwing it. And I did forget my glasses, and I went back to get it, and he grabbed me around here, and I bit him, and he started strangling me. He was grabbing my neck.
That's also a lie, Your Honor.
What word didn't you understand when I said, when she's testifying, unless I'm looking at you and asking you a question, don't speak?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so he was having me around my neck. He wasn't really...
Why did he put his hands on your neck?
I guess he didn't want me to go back into the apartment. He didn't...
Well, did he tell you not to go back into the apartment?
He said, hold on, and I was like, I'll get him, and he just grabbed me, and I was like, all right, you know, and then...
So he grabbed you?
Yeah.
And you bit him?
Yeah.
Hard?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And I threw his cologne. When he was throwing my stuff out, I was like, all right, so I threw his stuff out. You know what I mean? I didn't care.
Now, he threw your stuff out after you had bitten him?
No, before. And so I didn't throw the cologne at his car. I just threw it, and it landed in the grass. And after he started strangling me, he threw me onto the porch, and I gathered my stuff up, and I was leaving. And he started saying something to me, and I had the cologne, another bottle, and I just tossed it, and it hit his car. And I kept on walking, and I was halfway down the street to go to the payphone to call my friend to come pick me up, and he gets in his car, and he drives, and he tries to get me to come in the car. But the whole time he was strangling me, he was telling me, you know, I could kill you right now. What do I look like getting in the car with somebody that just said they were going to try and kill me? So I told him, no, just leave me alone. I'll walk, I'll find another ride. And he continued to just follow me. He came behind me, and he grabbed my book bag with my work clothes in it, and he grabbed my jacket.
Stop playing with that paper.
I'm sorry. And he grabbed my glasses off my face, and I kept walking, and he did this for like an hour. All I wanted was for him to let me alone so I can call my friend and go home. He wouldn't leave me alone. He picked me up and he threw me in his car, and I got out and I kept running because I was scared. I was crying. I thought he was going to kill me. He told me he was going to kill me.
He didn't tell you he was going to kill you when
Yes.
he was... No, listen to me! He didn't say to you as he was following you to try to put you in the car to drive you home that he was going to kill you.
No, but when he was strangling me.
Right. You know, don't embellish this story. Do we understand each other? To make a long story short, you finally got in the car, he drove you home, and he dropped you off.
Yeah.
All right. There was at least some modicum of concern about your safety at that hour in the morning, walking around by yourself, because that's why he got in the car to take you home, even after you bit him, and even after you damaged his car, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. Mr. Jenkins.
Yes, Ron.
You're a cad, but not a total louse. Here you have a situation where you have a young lady who is clearly more infatuated with you than you are with her. That's what you said, because you described her to me as an acquaintance. And clearly, she poured her heart out to you in this letter that you read before you took her back to your house. So someone who was a decent person would say to themselves, look, I really don't care about this lady the same way she cares about me. And I don't want to lead her on anymore, because clearly she's lonely, she's vulnerable, so I don't want to lead her on anymore. and I'm just going to end it. But you decided, well, as long as we both have nothing to do, we'll go back to my house. So you went back to your house, and with this acquaintance, you were going to have a sexual encounter, one that you had had before, something that a decent person doesn't do to somebody who's vulnerable. Better off just cutting it off and saying, well, it's not going to work out. I don't feel the same way that you do. So you're a cad, but you're not a total louse because you didn't want her to walk home alone. It's in the middle of the night, so you, even after the attack on you and your car, I don't know what you found more devastating, the attack on you or your car. Usually guys find the attacks on their cars more devastating than the attacks on themselves. You did, in fact, get into your car and say, let me take you home. You got it?
I do understand, Your Honor.
You bid him. That's a no-no. I don't believe that you bid him in order to have him release his stronghold on you. I think that you got very angry that night, and I think you probably had reason, but you weren't acting like a smart lady. If you sense from somebody that they're really not interested in you, what you're supposed to do is cut your losses and move on. Cut your losses, move on, find somebody else that wants to be as good to you as you want to be to them. Do you understand?
Yes.
Fine.
Can I also have something else, Your Honor?
I would love to hear something else. Make sure I'm going to like it.
Okay.
Because so far you're winning.
I basically did want to say that I do have a permanent mark here because of the actual bite wound.
Maybe it'll teach you to be more careful with somebody's feelings. Mr. Jenkins. Got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Car is $763 to fix. Your emergency room was $446. So your total bills were $1,209. However, I do believe that you have to be compensated for the pain and suffering. A bite mark is dangerous. And I am awarding you $2,000 on your judgment, which is some $800 more than the actual damages that you sustained. Have you both moved on with your lives, I assume?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was actually pretty upfront and honest. That's the type of person that I am.
I'm only 19. I got other things to do with my life.
You see a female get more like out of line, whatever, just go ahead and handle the situation.
I'm just happy that it's over.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bufano versus Kowalski. Step forward, please.
19-year-old waitress Tamara Bufano is suing her former friend, 20-year-old waitress Chanel Kowalski, for the cost to get her car out of impound. Chanel says Tamara owes her for a set of rims.
Ms. Bufano, you loaned your car to the defendant, who
Correct.
was, according to your complaint, related to your ex-boyfriend?
She was just close friends with my ex.
A close friend of your ex-boyfriend?
Yes.
She acknowledges that if anything happened to your car, she would take care of it, right?
Yes.
She drove the car broke down, she left it on the road, the car got towed, cost you money to get it out of impound, you want your impound fees.
Correct.
She says she paid you some towards the impound fees, some money towards the impound fees, which you acknowledge that she gave you some money towards the impound fees, but then decided she didn't have to give you any more, right? Tell me why.
Because about 1.5 years ago, me and my ex-husband gave her these rims to put on for tires, and she put them on her car, borrowing them, and she crashed her car 4 days later. The rims were $2,000. She told me that she told me and my ex-husband she was going to pay us back. She gave us $20 a week for maybe 3 weeks and never paid me back again. So when this happened with her car, I kind of was put in the same position, and she still owes me over $1,900 for that.
You don't have a counterclaim?
It happened over 1 year ago. They wouldn't let me, they said.
Well, so 1 year ago it's passed.
Right.
Oh, this is a
Which
very easy case.
I pretty much dropped it because she was my friend. That's why when this happened, I kind of said, you know, you did the same thing, so.
Duh. You have no counterclaim, so I can't entertain your set. What you want to do is do a set-off. Be a grown-up. How much did you give her towards the impound fees?
I believe $70 to $80.
Okay, how much were the impound fees?
$191.
How much did she give you?
Nowhere near $70 to $80. It was $20. 4 payments of $5 each.
The impound fees were $191, and she gave you 4 payments of $5 each. Even my rudimentary math, that comes up to $171. Would that be a fair statement?
Fair statement.
Why are you suing her for $191?
Well, because we ended up making an agreement after lots of fighting and arguing that she would pay me half of the impound fee by October 1st. Otherwise, I was going to file small claims. Well, she said there should be no reason why she wouldn't do it. Every time I asked for money, she didn't have it. She said, I have other things to do, but she was always partying and going out. So
I'm asking you, what'd you add on the other $20 for?
She owed me $20 from another situation.
I'm not hearing another situation. I don't have another situation here. So what she owes you, according to you, is $171.
Yes.
By the way, did she ever say to you at any point, you owe me money for the rims and that's why I'm not going to pay you?
No, she didn't say that exactly to me. She said something about that she doesn't think it's fair that I didn't pay her for the rims, but she didn't say, you know, I'm not paying you because of the rims.
Okay, and the rims were her ex-husband's rims.
Right, and they were $500, not $2,000. They said I would have to pay $500.
Just a second, but they were her ex-husband's rims.
Right.
They were bought with our wedding money. They were bought with our wedding money.
All right.
That was.
You owe her $171. Judgment for the plaintiff. Goodbye.
Yeah, this is case number 407 on the calendar, in the matter of Stanger versus Swanger.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Stanger, you and the defendant, according to your complaint, lived in a relationship for about 6 years.
Yes.
And it is your claim that when the relationship terminated, the defendant was indebted to you for rent, some household bills, cell phone bill, and some money that you loaned to him in the amount of $5,000.
Correct.
The defendant says that you were, in fact, in a relationship, that there was a rather loose financial arrangement, and that there was never a complaint on your part while you were together that you were owed any money. Only after the relationship terminated was there a complaint. Is that your defense, sir?
Yes.
When did you begin living together?
The
What
later
year?
part of 98. I don't have the exact.
It was March of 98.
And when did you move out of the home?
I was thrown out of the home or asked to leave the home in October of this year.
Now, what do you claim is owed to you, and for what, Mr. Stanger?
What I have is he's not paid me rent in full at any time during the time.
Your Honor,
Shh, don't interrupt. Go ahead.
During the time of the end of last year up until the end of this past year.
And when for the first time did you complain about that?
I've complained about it over and over. I had bills to pay. I mean, I paid for everything.
So what did you do with the money?
Mr. Swanger, don't make this any more difficult, please.
I don't think I'm the one making it difficult.
Good. So that let's wait until it's your turn. When did he give you money, sir, during the course of this year?
Periodically, when his pay periods came around, I would ask him, you know, don't you have something you need to give me? You know, you owe me money. And he would say,
half the
well,
time you would come up.
I'm going to say it
after
again.
my
1,
check.
2, 3. Mr. Swanger, have I been respectful to you?
Yes, you have.
In a court, you're supposed to be respectful. There are certain rules. Plaintiff goes first. The defendant responds to questions. That's the way this works. If you want to have a discussion with Mr. Stanger, then you do it outside, you do it over coffee, you do it in the living room, you do it, you know, out in the street. That's a discussion. Then you talk back and forth. When you're here, I ask questions, you answer them. Unless I'm looking at you for an answer, do not speak. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
Good. Go ahead.
just from what you're seeing, that's his arrogance. Any time that I've ever tried to ask him to
Mr.
give me-
Stanger, his arrogance may be, but you lived with him. I'm not here to resolve that. Did you keep a register of how much he gave you each month? The answer is either yes or no.
No.
How do you know how much he owes you?
Well, at one point in time, we were both discussing what he felt he owed me, and he said about $6,500. I says, but still, there's other monies that you owe me too, for bills that you didn't pay that you used in my name that I didn't know about. For instance, a Cellular One, he ran a bill up in his name for $600 and something, and then they turned it off, and he had one activated in my name, ran that up to over $1,000.
When did you find out about that, sir?
Well, it was 2000, actually.
And you didn't separate, actually, until December of 2001. Did you immediately close that account?
Actually, I received a phone call. It was a collection agency that I had owed this money. I had him, and I had filled out an affidavit, sent it to the company, stating that, you know, I was not responsible, I did not authorize it, I never signed anything for that phone.
But you could have proceeded further, sir. If he forged your name to documents to open up an account,
Well, they
you are
said-
not responsible.
They are
Just-
holding me
Well,
responsible.
they can't hold you responsible, sir. If you wish to proceed with it criminally, they don't have to hold you responsible at all.
I have threatened him with that and told
So
him that I
do
would
it.
take it to
So
the
do
district
it.
attorney.
Well, listen, so do it.
He said that he, you know, he would pay it. And, you know, of course,
Mr.
I loved him, and I was stupid enough to believe in him and give him chance after chance and, you know, putting me in harm's way
A year
continuously.
is a long chance, Mr. Stanger, so you didn't answer my question. Had they turned off that phone?
It was turned off, I guess, prior to when I found the bill and then when I received that phone call.
Now tell me about this loan that you claim, sir. What was it for?
Well, I loaned him monies to fix a vehicle that he had. So
when was that, Mr.
This was
Stenger?
earlier in the year. I forget the date that I'd put down.
It was April of this year, or of 2001.
You know, he was just lying to me. He never paid me back on it. You know, and plus...
How much did you give him?
It was actually $498, but I took off some of the amount because he had given me $35 or something. I didn't really keep track of that because there was just so many astronomical figures of how much he owes me. So I was just stupid for really putting up with this as long as I did.
Right. You were. Because if it was in April that you loaned him this money, that was after you found out about the telephone. Is that right?
I knew of the phone, yes, for a couple of years.
So you knew of the phone for a long time, and he hadn't paid you, according to you, any money on the phone. Is that right?
Right.
And yet you gave him more money. You know, for the time that you were together, this was like a marriage. That's what it was. And you anticipated that it would go on for a very long time. And that but for the fact that you separated, for whatever reason, you wouldn't be here today.
Right.
Now, is there anything you want to say?
Oh, yeah.
Do you listen at all?
Yeah, I listen.
What did I just say?
That if there hadn't been a problem with monies in the relationship, we wouldn't be here to begin with.
No, that's not what I said at all. You have to listen carefully.
To me what it was you said?
I said, but for the fact that the relationship terminated, we would not be here today.
Oh, if we were still together. Correct. Throughout the relationship, he threatened me, you owe me this, you owe me this, you owe me this. I didn't keep track of what it was that I had paid him. I did agree with him, I may owe you for past rents, but I pay for this, this, and this. What, I mean, in a relationship, are we keeping track here?
Well, then, since you choose to respond, Mr. Swanger, I'm going to ask you a few other questions, sir. Did there ever come a time when you sat down with the plaintiff and discussed what, in fact, you did owe him?
Oh, there were several times when it came to the point that he was trying to throw me out of the house and had everything I owed in the foyer.
Just a second.
Sure,
Mr.
there
Swanger,
was.
did there ever come a time when you came to a dollar figure?
Yes, there was.
And what was it that you agreed that you owed him?
It came up to over $5,000. It came up to like $8,000. But we also weren't taking into account the things that I had paid for as well either.
Oh, fine. All right. So, see if he.
I mean,
do you understand?
a relationship,
I hope
and you should
you all
have,
understand. Okay. So,
instead of
Mr.
paying
Swanger,
rent, shouldn't
pay
you take the
attention. You're
bills and meet
speaking.
him
You're
in the
not
house?
listening. So there came a time when you sat down and you agreed that it was over $6,500, closer to $8,000, but he wasn't taking into account what monies you had in fact paid him. Now, what monies do you claim that you had in fact paid him? Give me a rough
I didn't
estimate.
keep a receipt of it.
Now, give
When
me
you're
a
in a relationship, what the
Mr.
heck do you need to
Swanger,
keep a receipt of
listen.
it for?
Don't speak. What amount do you believe that you had paid him towards the money that you owed him?
I couldn't say. I didn't
Well, I
keep
want you
an
to try.
account.
No, listen to me. I want you to try, sir. What amount, if you were to be very generous with yourself, what amount do you believe that you gave him towards the money that you now agreed that you owed him?
I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue.
Well, now
All
I want you to have a clue. I want you to have a clue, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Stanger says ex-boyfriend Robbie Swanger owes for rent, bills, and loans. Robbie says he had no idea John was keeping a tab.
Now, you had some idea whether you did have an agreement that you would give him $500
I was paid bi-weekly. There was times he would come up and he would get my whole paycheck. There were months when I would just pay bills and not give him $500. I mean, I wasn't keeping in account how much I had actually paid.
Were there months, Mr. Stanger, that the defendant paid some bills?
Yes, there were several months in between that, you know, he would pay and then months that he wouldn't pay. That's how we came up with the figure, and I figured it about a year's rent. There was no set date that it was absolutely 12 months consecutively. This is what we agreed upon and what we figured and what I figured. I didn't
he kept
write
track
it down.
of everything, but when I'd give him money, I didn't keep track of it.
Evidently didn't keep
when you're
track
married, you
because
don't
he
keep
doesn't
track.
have a
That was my
register.
bad business for not writing everything
Well,
down at
then,
the
Mr.
time.
Stanger, you can't expect a court to resolve the issue of a dollar amount of money unless you come to me equipped with information. I don't make a calculated guess about how much he owes you.
He's written me 2 checks, and with these 2 checks in the memo, he even puts 1/3 payment, recognizing that he did owe me this money.
Well, let me see the checks. 1/3 payment of what?
1/3 payment towards all the monies that he's owed
Well, then
me
let
to
me
the
see.
$8,000.
Let me see.
Also, you know,
Sure, just a second. Let me see that.
they were
Maybe
checks that were no good. I could not even cash them.
No, let me
He had
see what you
insufficient
have.
funds.
Let me see what you have.
He did it twice.
Just a second. Would you show this to the defendant, please?
He was trying to make good on something, but...
Remember writing that, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right, that seems to indicate, sir, that you had agreed on a specific amount of money, Mr. Swonger, that you did, in fact, owe the plaintiff.
And like I said, we had, but...
No, you didn't say that, sir.
Yes,
You
I
didn't
did.
say
I said
that.
we sat down and I sat down with him and we came to a dollar figure.
No, that's not
But
what
we
you said,
didn't take
Mr.
into
Swonger.
it.
What
Yes,
you
it was.
said
We
was
didn't
you
take
came
into
to a
account what
dollar
I had
figure.
already
Nobody
paid
speaks
him.
when I speak. You say that you came to a dollar figure, but that did not take into account the money that you had already given him. That's what you said. That's exactly what you said. You didn't say that you came to a dollar figure of what you owed. And then I said to you over and over again, well, what was it that you in fact gave him so I can deduct that from what you agreed that you owed him? And you said, I can't tell you. But here it is clear that you agreed that you owed him minimally the amount that he's suing for because you made certain payments.
But what about the monies I
1/3
had
payment,
paid to him?
$2,000. But that check was no good.
No good.
But that's what you wrote. 1/3 payment, $2,000.
And do you know why that check was written? Because I came home and all my things were in the foyer of the house, and it was done under distress as to our relationship was built on money and
Your
not.
Honor, he
not
was
Then you wrote another check, sir, a
I
month
had an
later.
affair. He's getting more rides and Greyhound.
Then you
than
wrote
I've had
another
an
check,
affair.
sir, a month later for $2,000. Was that check cashed?
And stop payment.
You stopped payment on that
Exactly, you
check.
did.
So it's clear. It says something about balance $6,000. And then you stopped payment on that. So was your furniture out in the hallway, sir, from September 21st, 2001 until October 2001?
It was back and forth. It was a
It was
roller
back and
coaster.
forth. Judgment for the plaintiff and the amount requested, $5,000. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The guy's like a doorknob. Everybody's had a turn. And when I did it back to him,
Takes a bad matter, makes it worse by going out and starting a new relationship with somebody else and expecting me to live with that with him. And I just wasn't going to have it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Brown versus Torres. Step forward, please.
23-year-old air traffic controller Christine Brown is suing her former friend, 23-year-old independent contractor Jason Torres, for an unpaid loan to get his car out of the shop.
Ms. Brown, you claim a loan to the defendant in the amount of some $434.
Yes, Your Honor.
That loan, you say, was made so that he could get his car out of the repair shop. The defendant acknowledges that you gave him $434. Is that correct, sir?
yes,
And says it was a gift that you insisted upon giving him. That's your defense.
yes.
Okay. How do you know each other, Ms. Brown?
We met about 4 years ago.
You were
We
friends?
just friends. And I trusted him. So on March 20th, when we were talking on the phone, he told me that he needed $400 to get his car out of the shop. And I told him the only way I would give him $400 was if he would pay me back that weekend because I didn't get paid for another week and a half and I only had $400 in my account. So he promised me that he would pay me back by Sunday, the whole $400.
What's the $34 for?
That's just a service charge for the Western Union.
Where was he living and where were you living?
He was living in North Hollywood, ma'am, and I was living on base in Lemoore, California.
You are in the armed forces?
Navy, yes, ma'am.
And he was supposed to pay you back on Sunday. Were you supposed to see him on that Sunday?
I was actually supposed to see him on Friday. We talked on the phone Thursday after I wired him the money. He told me he got it, and he told me that we were going to go out on Friday night, and he would have half of the money for me. So I called him Friday night, and he never answered his cell phone. He was never home. And I tried calling him Saturday. I went to his house. His family said he wasn't there. And Sunday came around. I went to his house again. I called him continuously on his cell phone. He never answered it, and he was never on his home. So I went back to the base, and I never heard from him again.
Mr. Torres, you tell me how this money was transferred to you, sir.
She wired me the money through Western Union
How did she know how much money you needed?
because I had told her when we were at dinner.
So you were out at dinner. When?
Yes. I don't remember what night it was, but we had spoken on the phone. She came down and told me she wanted to see me. She picked me up and we went to dinner.
And tell me about how the conversation came about this money that you needed for the car.
Well, she asked me where my car was, and I had explained to her that I had gotten in a car accident and that I would be getting my car out of impound. Out of the shop as soon as I had the rest of the amount, because my deductible was about $1,000 and I only had about $600 of that.
Okay, and what did she say to you?
She offered me the money.
What did she say?
She said, I can give you the money.
And what did you say?
I said, thank you, but no thank you. And then she insisted that
what did she say?
She said, I insist that you take the money. I would like to help.
Okay, and you said?
I said, no.
And she said?
Later on, towards the end of the dinner, she brought it up again and said that I should swallow my pride and not be too ashamed to accept help from a friend.
Okay, and you said?
And I thought about it and I said, okay.
All right, so she went back, she drew out the money, and she wired you the money.
Yes.
Now, did you have an appointment to meet with her that Friday evening?
No, I didn't.
Did you have any contact with her again at all?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I had tried to get a hold of her.
How?
Calling her.
When did you try to call her?
I tried calling her after I had received the money.
And you couldn't get her?
No, I couldn't.
Well, where did you try to call her, at the base?
I tried calling her at home.
And did you get her an answering machine?
No, I did not.
How many times did you call her?
I tried calling 3 times that evening.
You mean to say thank you for the money?
Yes.
And you couldn't reach her?
No, I couldn't.
And when did you try again to reach her?
I tried the following day.
After March 21st, when did you contact her?
I hadn't tried for about another week or so.
Yeah?
And I tried again, and once again, I could not reach her.
And then you just stopped calling?
Yeah.
Why?
I hadn't heard from her, and so I figured I'd let her call me.
But she was the one who sent you $400.
Yes, she was.
So you mean after you got the money, you never spoke to her?
No, I didn't. I had tried to get a hold of her to speak to her, but I was unable to.
You had her home address?
Yes, her home address? No, yes. I did not.
Know how to contact her at home?
Just through that telephone number.
You don't have her address? You don't know what the base that she stays on?
No, I knew it was somewhere up in Lemoore. It was the first time I had spoken to her in quite some time. She called me up to ask if I'd like to do something. She came down, picked me up, and we got into this conversation. And that's how this came to be.
Ma'am, that is true. After a long time, I did call him to see if he wanted to hang out, and that was Tuesday night. Wednesday night was when we talked on the phone. He never mentioned anything at dinner about anything about his car needing $400. It was on the phone that we discussed it. And I told him that I needed it by Sunday, and we did make plans on Friday night to go out.
No, we didn't.
He is lying about that.
No, I'm not.
Now, Mr. Torres, how long were you saving? How much longer did you think you would have to save up in order to get your car out of impound?
Probably another week or two. Not impound, repair shop.
Repair shop. So you had the $600 already?
Yes.
And you needed just another week or so to put together the other $400?
Yes. It's because I was using my car for work at the time.
Okay.
And so I wasn't able to
So I
make
would
money.
assume that another week or so went by and you had the additional $400. Is
Yes.
that right? So why didn't you wire her the money back?
I didn't have an address to wire to her. I tried to get a hold of her on the telephone and I could not.
Did you try to get her on the phone, say a week or so later, to tell her that you now had the money together?
Yes, I did.
So that you planned on paying her back?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $434. I thought we'd get there.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Walker versus Lund. Step forward, please.
36-year-old construction worker David Walker is suing his former father-in-law, 68-year-old retired school teacher Donald Lund, for getting rid of his personal belongings. David is suing for $5,000.
Mr. Walker, the defendant is your former father-in-law, and he was also the landlord in the home that you shared with your wife.
Yes.
According to your complaint, sometime in March of 2000, you were removed from your home, and your wife obtained a restraining order against you. Is that right?
That's correct.
You claim that your father-in-law either destroyed or gave away or removed personal property of yours that was in the home.
Yes, I do.
And you want to be reimbursed for that property.
Yes, ma'am.
Your father-in-law says that sometime in September of 2000, he was notified that he had to get rid of a lot of junk on the property. He removed all that stuff. Is that right?
Well, I removed not his stuff. I removed the stuff that was in the yard debris, stuff like that.
Now, Mr. Walker, I'd like you to give me some idea of what property you say was left on the property in March of 2000.
Okay, well, I had 3 vehicles, 2 pickup trucks, a camper. And also
3 vehicles?
3 vehicles.
Okay. Now, when for the first time, sir, did you request that property?
Quite a few times between March and September, I'd spoke with Don and asked how I could go about retrieving my property. When it finally did come time for the vehicles to be removed from the property, like he said, Don had to get a tow truck to remove the 2 trucks that were in the driveway, and he moved them just adjacent the driveway in front of the home where I'm not allowed to come obtain them.
So, where are they?
They were towed by the city.
When were you notified that they were towed?
Immediately I knew they were towed.
So why didn't you go get them?
I couldn't get them out of the impound.
Why not?
Didn't have the money to.
Well, that's not his fault.
Okay.
First of all, he was under no obligation to pay for towing your trucks off that property in the first place. You could have done that yourself.
We couldn't do that because of my ex-wife.
What do you mean? You said you spoke to him.
I spoke to him and he told me to come over to meet him on the property and have him towed off. When I didn't show up to meet him on the property, that's what he did.
Fine. So forget the vehicles. And you were notified immediately that they were impounded. You could have gone over immediately, paid whatever minimal fine there was for towing, and gotten your cars. All right. What's next? Boats. Tell me about the boats.
Well, one boat wasn't on a trailer that Don drug out and left in the middle of the gravel road for whoever wanted to take it or come get it.
And when did he do that, sir?
Probably 2 or 3 weeks after the vehicles were removed. He had to get the boat off.
And what date were the vehicles removed?
I would say probably September 15th.
Where were you between March and September?
Living 10 blocks away.
So why didn't you go to small claims court in April and say, I want my boats? Why didn't you do that? You waited a year and a half later?
Well, probably because I didn't see any reason to have to do that. My property should have been given to me. You know, if Don had an order to remove it from the property, he should have removed it and put it 150 feet away from the home. He was aware of the restraining order. He was aware I couldn't come on the property and there was nothing there worth going to jail over.
Are you divorced now?
Yes, we are.
Did your judgment of divorce address the boat?
The judgment of the divorce addressed whatever vehicles were in our possession, which obviously no vehicles were in my possession at that time.
Well, why didn't you raise the issue before the judge who handled your divorce and say, I have a boat?
They went ahead and went ahead with the divorce when I wasn't present.
You defaulted? You were served. You served and you chose not to appear.
I suppose so.
Okay. What else?
Tools and materials, which on June 25th of this last year, the shed was torn down and they were disposed of.
We had from March of 2000 to June of 2001.
Mm-hmm.
So where were you and say, I need my tools?
Living in Clackamas County with a no-contact order with the victim and a no-contact order with Mr. Lund.
Now, do you still have a no-contact order?
There's still a no-contact order
So
with
you have
both
the
of them.
same no-contact order that you had in March of 2000?
No, there wasn't one in March of 2000.
April of 2000?
There wasn't one
May
in
of 2000?
It's October.
October. So between March and October, there wasn't a restraining order.
No, and I tried like hell to get my stuff.
You found your way to small claims court now. You know how to do that.
I was not aware that I could go to small claims court. Being the divorce was not final, the divorce had not been filed. None of the property should have been removed, disposed of, or sold until our divorce was final. The point of the matter is the property was destroyed, the property was vandalized, and the property was disposed of before our divorce.
Then, sir, you should have addressed that in your divorce.
Okay?
You should have said, I don't have my cars, I don't have my share of my boats, I don't have my tools, and then it's all resolved.
You think it's right that somebody disposes of somebody's property and everything that they've worked hard for their whole life and never so much as give them one item just to spite them?
Well, sir, what I think is that when you're going through a divorce, you're supposed to be vigilant about obtaining property that is important to you. And what I'm saying to you is you don't wait 2 years and then say, we never mentioned this property in my divorce because I chose not to appear, so now I want $5,000 from you for all the things that you didn't take good care of that belong to me.
I might be wrong on the timeline, the amount of time I waited, but I'm not wrong for requesting being compensated by the person that disposed of all my property. The Landlord-Tenant Act says Mr. Lund cannot dispose of my property without giving me written notice.
He didn't dispose of any of your property, sir? He didn't dispose of any of your property. He got your cars off of his property. And the fact that they were not 150 feet away, so you say he enabled you to go over and get them.
Vindictive.
It may be. That's what divorces usually are, vindictive. That's why people have to appear if they have a problem, not say, Which is what you did. So she wants a divorce, let her get a divorce, and I'll deal with this later.
I did what the law told me to do, have no contact with either victim.
No, sir. There is still a no contact order. And if there's still a no contact order, you found your way to the courthouse today. You should have found your way to the courthouse a year and a half ago. Your complaint is dismissed, that's all.
Now, this is case number 497 on the calendar in the matter of Mason versus Campbell. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Mason, how old are you?
I'm 39 years old.
You have children?
3.
How old are they?
12, 13, and 15.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an advertising representative.
According to your complaint, in 2001, you loaned Mr. Campbell, who you were dating, $4,000 to put down as a down payment on a truck.
Yes, I did. Mr. Campbell didn't have a vehicle.
Now, listen to me. I didn't ask you a question yet.
I'm sorry.
And the understanding was that if you loaned him the down payment, he would take care of the rest of the payments, and he would pay you back this $4,000. Mr. Campbell's defense to this action is that it was a gift. Is that right, sir?
That's right, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's do the facts that we know. She put down $4,000 on a truck that was purchased in your name. Is that right?
That's right.
And you took out a car loan for the rest.
That's right.
Now I want you to convince me that this was a gift.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm ready.
Well, I was perfectly happy with the vehicle that I had. She told me that she would like for me to have a nicer truck, and she did not like my truck being parked in front of her house because it was a ranch truck. There was nothing wrong with it. It was an older truck, but I was perfectly fine with it, and it was in good shape. And one day she come home and she said, I got an advance on my check. Let's go look for a truck. So we went and looked for a truck.
Okay, so she said to you, I want to go look for a truck. And what did you say to her?
I said, that's fine. So we went and looked. And it just happened to be that day we found one. And I told her it was too much because we already found out the bank would only loan me $15,000.
When did you find that out?
Like 2 or 3 days before, I believe.
Well, what were you even checking into that for, sir, if you didn't want a new truck?
Because she had mentioned it prior to this.
What do you mean she had mentioned it prior to this?
She just wanted me to have a nicer truck. And I said, I don't even think I can get approved for the loan.
You said, I don't even think that I can get approved for the loan, but I'm going to check and find out. And then you called to see.
Yeah, she asked me to go down
there. So
it
wasn't that she just came home one day and said to you, I want to go buy you a truck. This is a discussion that you had had with her previously.
Yes, ma'am.
And that you actually went so far as to call up to find out how much money you could get on a loan.
Yeah, to check my credit, see how bad it was.
Keep going.
And we went and looked that evening, and we found a truck, and I thought it was too much.
Look at me.
I thought it was too much. And so she was good with bargaining with people, and she knew the owner. So we went, and we talked to them. She got the truck down to what she thought was reasonable.
Well, what did you think? Don't you have a brain?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I thought it was still a little too high.
Is that what you told her?
Yes.
So you said it's too much?
It's too much.
Too much. Can't do it.
That's right.
That's what you said?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So we signed the paperwork. I signed the paperwork. She got it to where she thought.
Well, why would you sign the paperwork if you said, no, it's too much?
Because she said she was going to put the down on it. I said, are you sure that's what you want to do? And she goes, yes, it's no problem. So that's what we did.
So that was in May of 2001?
2001.
What happened after that? How long did you stay together after that?
We stayed together approximately a year.
You lived together?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
No.
When did you stop living together?
We stopped living together approximately August of 2001.
Does that sound right, sir?
It could be. I'm not very good with dates, Your Honor.
Well, try years.
I'm sorry.
Don't get sorry. Try to get intelligent. May 2001 is when you bought the truck.
Yes.
How much after that did you and the plaintiff separate?
Well, we separated a few times in between. We were off and on, off and on, off and on.
When was the last time that you actually lived together, I assume, in her home?
It had been last year in, I'd say, June.
Is that right?
No, ma'am.
Has he stayed in your house since August of 2001?
He came and stayed at my house in December of 2001 for about 4 days.
Why?
I felt sorry for him because his dad had kicked him out.
Is he a drinker?
No.
Does he use drugs?
No.
Why did his dad kick him out?
They live in an old trailer in
I don't care if they live in an
Wasco,
old trailer.
and they just always got in fights and arguments.
Right.
And he came and stayed at my house, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't have you here. I was only going to let him stay for a couple days. And
You know,
it
there
looked
was
like
some
he
other trouble
getting
with him,
very
too, was there not, Miss Mason, that you seemed to allude to in your complaint, people looking for him for money?
Yes.
When was that?
It was in September of 2001. The first case was he owed some money for a horse, and I had given him the money already. It was a horse for my daughter, and I wasn't aware that he hadn't paid the man. And he came into my house hostile, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't know where Jeff is at. And I own a 30-foot camping trailer at Aljo with 2 pop-outs, and the guy did not believe me that it was mine. And so I had to literally pull out my paperwork of the lease and show it to him that it was not Jeff's, because he wanted to put a lien against it. Then we had a girl come to the door. She threatened to tear my vehicle apart and repossess anything that I had, because he told her it was his home, his vehicles, and he felt sorry for me and my children, so he was letting us stay there. And that's how he got people to let him live in their homes.
You mean, and after this, you let him come back to your house in December? Why?
I felt sorry for him.
He already left you holding the bag for $4,000. Why would you feel sorry for him?
I'm just a nice person.
Who are you?
I'm his ex-girlfriend. Part of this is true and part of it's not true. Jeff and I got together early November of 2001. We were together for approximately a month. Dina came to my home and started calling my home, harassing him, calling him, wanting him back.
Wanting him back or wanting her money?
Wanting him back. She did not want money. She never brought up anything about money for the longest time.
Did you speak to her?
Yes, I did.
Well, tell me about the conversation you had with her in November of 2001.
That they were still together. He was living with her. She wanted to know who I was, what was going on between us. And
Was he living at your house?
Yes, he was, ma'am.
How much rent was he giving you?
Nothing.
Where did you meet him?
I met him through a friend. We knew quite a few people that were mutual friends.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a cashier.
What does he do for a living?
He's works in the oil fields.
Doing what?
Tearing down the big pumping units.
How often does he do that?
Well, Monday through Friday.
Then what does he do with his money?
He spends it.
On what?
Dirt bikes.
What else?
Clothing, dirt bikes. We eat out.
What else?
That's about it.
Really? I doubt that. Have a good nose for that. Somebody who works construction makes a lot of money. And unless he's supporting a whole gaggle of children, there are only a few things that you get addicted to that prevent you from providing for your own sustenance, like rent and food and clothing and cars and other things. One of them's gambling. I assume he's not a gambler, is that right?
No.
And then there are a couple of other things that you can become addicted to that also take a lot of money.
Ma'am, his dirt bike takes a lot of money.
How much did he pay for the dirt bike?
I don't know how much he paid for the dirt bike. He had it before we got together.
When you say it takes a lot of money, how much is a lot of money?
Well, he's quite frequent with blowing them up, and he spent, I know, of at least 1,000 or more at a time rebuilding it.
What do you mean he blows them up? What does that mean?
He rides them hard and blows the motors up.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
How many children do you have?
I have 2.
How old are they?
9 and 4.
Why would you want them around somebody who has a fried brain?
Because I don't believe that he has a fried brain.
He does. He does. He's an amoral person who has a fried brain because he's over 25 years old. He sucks off women, vulnerable women with children who are really trying to, they're living from hand to mouth because it doesn't look to me as if you're a trust fund child, right? So he's sucking off you. He sucked off her. Whenever he gets some money, he blows it on things for himself, and then he doesn't treat those things with any kind of respect. According to you, he'll spend $1,000 on a dirt bike, and he rides it hard and blows up the motor. Well, that's something that somebody might do if they were 15, but not somebody who's in their mid-30s, unless they get women to take care of them and support them. Then he can take all the money he gets from his construction and oil stuff and do with it whatever he wants. Whatever toys he wants to play with, and whatever things that he needs to make him feel good. So if you want to expose your children to a person with that kind of character, that's your problem. That doesn't make you very smart. Do you understand?
Yes.
She wasn't very smart. She got snookered for $4,000. but you're not going to get it back because you got snookered for it. You gave it to him. You didn't loan him this money. He said he wanted it, and you said, I'm going to give it to you. You want to know how I know that? Because if in December of 2001 somebody who had snookered me out of $4,000 and made a fool out of me came to my house and said I need a place to stay, I would have called the police and said I have somebody trying to get into my house. Get him away from here.
Ma'am.
That's why. Yes.
On that, as far as that goes, Dina called my cell phone and begged him to come back to her. He was living with me at the time.
Listen, my dear, I've been around a little longer than you have. My eyesight isn't so good. I look at him and I see nothing that I would wipe my feet on. Do you understand?
Yes.
So the fact that the two of you seem to be enthralled with him, maybe he has some hidden attribute that certainly I don't see, You want him? That's your business. There was no loan. You bought him a truck. Get over it. Your case is dismissed.
Thanks, Val.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was hoping he wouldn't have to put it down.
She just thought she had to have a nicer vehicle in front of her house. Well, she had one for a while. Now she don't.
He said he would give it back to me in a couple days. It never happened.
Just got tired of her and the crap.
He got so much self-confidence having the vehicle, he ended up with about 4 girlfriends to go with it.
I'd rather be with my bikes. I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Date someone who has responsibility.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cleary versus Gray, step forward, please.
Homemaker Sandy Cleary and her son, 5-year-old Nicholas, are suing their neighbor, accounts receivable clerk Cynthia Gray. Sandy claims Cynthia's dog bit Nicholas in the face.
Miss Cleary, this is your little boy?
Yes.
What's your name?
Nicholas.
Nicholas, why don't you come up here? You're going to sit right up here next to me.
Okay, hold on. There you go.
Nicholas, how old are you?
5.
You know who I am?
Judge Judy.
Right. Do you ever watch me on television? You know what it is to be in court? Is this court where you are now? Okay. You know you have to tell the truth when you're in court, right? Show me where you were bitten, Nicholas.
On my nose.
On your nose? Looks okay to me. Is it all better now? It's all better? Good. Miss Cleary, you and the defendant are neighbors, and according to your complaint, one of her dogs bit your son.
Correct.
You want her to pay you $5,000 for whatever. Pain, suffering, a whole bunch of other things. How far away do you live from Mrs. Gray?
We have an apartment complex that we live in, and there's a home dividing Cindy's home to our apartment complex.
She lives in a private house?
Correct.
With a yard?
Correct.
With a fenced yard?
Yes.
How high is the fence?
It's probably about Nicholas's height, maybe a little bit taller.
And what kind of dogs does she have?
She has a medium-sized dog, mixed breed, and a little Chihuahua-sized dog.
Okay, and her dogs are behind the fence?
Correct.
Always behind the fence, unless she's walking them.
Well, not so correct on that one. Sometimes the dogs are free to either get out with the children also in the neighborhood to go in.
No, the children don't go in, I assume, unless their parents are with them.
Well, Cindy has also a young son, and my children, as well as other neighborhood children, have been able to go into the backyard to see if he's there to play.
Okay.
Versus the front door, actually.
No, but you wouldn't allow your 5-year-old to go there.
No.
Of course not. So, on what date was Nicholas bitten?
September 10th.
And where were you?
I was in the front yard of our apartment complex.
And who was with Nicholas?
His little friend, Lily.
How old is Lily?
She's the same age.
So you have 2 5-year-olds. And you were watching them?
Yes.
Well, tell me what happened.
Well, what happened was Nicholas and Lily both had asked if they could go see Nina and Riley.
Nina and Riley are the 2 dogs?
The 2 dogs, correct.
Yes.
And I said that would be okay, but it didn't look as if anybody was home and to please not go into the fence, as children always do. And he said okay, and the last I knew, he went to go and see the dogs, and then he started screaming.
Just a minute. When he and Lily, also age 5, went over to the defendant's home, could you see your son?
No, Your Honor, I could not.
Why not?
Because, I mean, it's very close quarters. Her driveway goes back a little further than where ours does.
Yes.
It happened very quickly. My older son had also gone over there with them.
Where's your older son?
He's not here today. He didn't see what happened as well.
Then I don't need him here. So what you're saying is your son went into her yard.
Yes. The gate has never been a real well-shutting gate.
That's not the issue, whether it's shut well or not. Ms. Cleary, you are the parent. Correct. You have a responsibility. You have a 5-year-old child. Your 5-year-old child should not be out of your sight when playing out in the street. And if your 5-year-old child comes to you and says, I want to go and play with the 2 dogs, and you believe, as you said, that the defendant is not home or that nobody is home, you get off your duff and you get up and you say, you want to go and see the dogs, I will go with you. Madam, this is your fault. This is not the defendant's fault. She has 2 dogs. Her dogs are behind a fence, well protected. If your son hadn't gone into the yard, your son would not have gotten bitten. And you just told me that the fence doesn't work too well, the gate doesn't work too well. Where are you? I mean, you're out talking to a friend? It's your job to watch him. And if you were negligent in taking care of your own son, don't blame anybody else.
Your Honor, I am not blaming anybody else. It happened so quickly. I instructed him that he could only pet the dogs over the fence, as he always does. That children and him, they always pet the dogs.
So where was he when it happened?
The gate had opened, he went inside.
Then you weren't close enough, Miss Cleary.
I disagree, Your Honor, but...
Well, that's your prerogative to disagree. I'm telling you, it's your fault. It's not her fault. Your son went into her property, and you were outside, and it's your responsibility to take care of your child. It's not her responsibility to take care of your child. And you had the opportunity to do that by taking him by the hand with his friend Lily, walking him over to the fence, saying, I want to go and pet the dogs. Fine. Don't go into the yard, because you don't know what 2 5-year-olds do. 2 5-year-olds don't always have judgment. And this is a situation where you're looking to blame somebody else for your negligence, malfeasance, lack of proper parenting, and you're not going to do that here. Your case is dismissed. You were wonderful, Nicholas. Goodbye.
Now, this is case number 508 on the calendar in the matter of Britton versus Simmons. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Britton, you've known the defendant a long time and you were friends. According to you, you claim a series of loans to him. He says that you did buy some Christmas gifts for him and for his children, but none of this was by way of a loan. It was all gifts. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How long have you known him?
About 10 years.
And when for the first time do you claim you gave him a loan?
In October of 2001.
Tell me about it.
Him and his friend had went out to a club, and he was too intoxicated to drive. And his friend drove his car, and they got pulled over. And his friend was on a restricted license, and they towed his car. And he did not have the money to get the car out of tow, so I let him borrow.
So you weren't with him?
No.
He contacted you in some way. How did he contact you?
He called me the next day after it had happened.
And what did he say to you, and what did you say to him?
He was just like, babe, my car got towed, and he was just going on and on. He was really upset.
He called you up and said, babe, my car got towed.
And told me the story of how he was too drunk to drive, and his friend had drove the car. They got pulled over, and could I come get him?
And where was he?
He was at his mother's house.
So did you go and pick him up at his mother's house?
I went and picked him up.
And where did you take him?
He dropped me off at my cousin's house. So I spent the day at my cousin's house, and he came back and got me later.
So he took your car?
He took my car.
She willingly gave me the car.
It wasn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I still didn't hear anything about money. What caused you to go and get the money?
He said, I do not have all of the money to get my car out of tow. He had about $100 and maybe $50. It was about $300 and something to get his car out. He said, can I borrow $200 until I get paid, which he got paid that Friday. So can he borrow the money until Friday to get his car out of tow?
And you said yes?
Yes.
Okay. When was the next loan you made to him?
Christmas time.
Tell me about that loan.
The loan came about when it was coming time for Christmas, and I knew he's a waiter. He does not make that much money.
Hold on, man. First.
And so he hadn't already paid me the the other money. So in conversations, I would ask him about the money.
What happened when the 2 weeks went by? You said you was going to get paid in 2 weeks.
Okay.
You didn't get your money.
2 days after he got his car out of tow, his friend that he was with that got his car towed, his sister had got killed. And he basically watched this girl grow up. So he wasn't going to work. He was really, really depressed. He wasn't going to work because he was with his friend and his family. So at that point, I understood that he wasn't going to work to make any money to pay me back.
So what happened Christmas time?
So this whole time, me and him are dating. I'm around his kids and everything. So I'm asking him, you know, when is he going to start doing his Christmas shopping? I don't know. I don't have the money right now to go Christmas shopping. So I asked him, well, do you want us to just go on and go, and then when you get paid, you can just pay me when you get paid for whatever we get? Because Christmas time, you have kids. You do not want to wait till the last minute to go get their presents. By the time he was going to go.
Miss Britton, so you gave him your credit card and you went out.
No, I didn't give him my credit card.
So you gave him cash to go?
No, I went shopping for the kids.
You did?
I went shopping for the kids.
That's a nice thing.
Yeah.
You don't get paid back for that.
Well, evidently. But
evidently, I'm telling you, if somebody borrows $200 in October and then gets very depressed and doesn't go to work for a couple of months, and then goes back to work and has no money not only to pay you back, but you decide that the children should have Christmas presents because it's coming to be Christmas and it's a nice thing for the children to have Christmas presents. If you go buy them Christmas presents and sign the card, "Love Daddy," that's your problem.
I didn't sign any card.
Fine. You just gave it to him and he gave it to the children?
He came and picked it up and he gave me some money that day, actually on the clothes that I had bought.
Good. So let's deal with the $200. Let me hear, Mr. Simmons, about this $200 that she gave you to get your car out of tow. Please stop smiling.
What happened was my car did get towed. I tried to do the right thing by not driving under the influence of alcohol. I mean, you know, and I didn't know my friend didn't have a valid license. He had a license.
I don't give a rat's behind about the circumstances,
I know.
sir. You took $200 from her to get your car out of tow. So I want you to tell me how that came about.
Well, basically, it came about as, to make a long story short,
No.
as long as I'm spending time with her, I can have what I want.
When you got your car towed, first of all, your
Yes, ma'am.
smiling irritated me so badly. I just
I
threw
apologize.
my joint out.
I apologize. I apologize.
Mr. Simmons, listen
Yes,
to me
ma'am.
very carefully, sir. Your car got towed. You weren't with the plaintiff.
Right.
At some point, she had to find out that your car, stand up, that your car got towed and that you didn't have money to get it out.
Right.
So how did she find out?
She called me that morning, and she's like, "What's wrong with you? Why you sound like that? This and this and that." And I told her what happened.
So you told her that your car got impounded.
Yes, ma'am.
And what else did you tell her?
That, you know, I don't know how I'm going to get it out, whatever, you know, we'll do and whatnot. And she
What
offered...
do and what not? What does that mean, what do and what not?
I got to figure out a way to get my car out.
Oh.
Because I have to go to the police department and talk to the chief or whoever handles that and let them know, you know, like a little hearing and tell them, you know, I wasn't trying to drive an influence, all that stuff. And then, you know, she was like, well, you know, if you need it, you can, you know, you can have it. And there was no problem, you know. Actually, she took me to the police department 2 times in one day to try to get the lift for my car.
Isn't she a nice person? What have you done for her?
Well, you know, I helped her mom move before.
No, not her mother. What did you do for her?
I washed her car.
That's very nice.
If she needs anything, you know.
No, what did you do? Not what if she needed. I want to know.
Whatever she needed me for.
Tell me. Give me, other than washing her car, sir.
I don't have finances, so I really haven't did nothing financially for her.
What other things did you do that were nice for her? Did you ever give blood for her?
No, my blood's not, no.
No. Did you ever take her someplace when her car was in repair?
Well, she's always had a car. Okay.
The answer would be no.
No.
Did you ever drive her to work?
No, but I've driven her places.
Tell me about that.
Like out to eat or to the mall or things like that.
You mean when you were going together as a couple?
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to her running alongside your car, you actually drove in the car together.
Frell says it only became a loan after he stopped seeing her.
Now tell me about the harassment that you're complaining of, sir.
First, I almost lost my job for her calling my job all the time. I have a write-up from my job. You know, my boss telling me if she keeps calling, you know, we're going to have to let you go. And
Well, what about maybe your boss said he would let you go because you hadn't shown up for work so much?
No, actually, that was all taken care of and everything. He
It
had
really
no
was.
problem.
Listen,
I mean, I called
she
my
wants
boss
her-
crying on
She
the phone
wants her
about my
money.
problem.
You should have given her money. She would have stopped calling you.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
at
but
the same
nothing.
time, what about when she pulls out a bat on my car?
What about it?
One morning I come home and, you know, I have a female friend with me and everything, and she's at my house because her and my aunt are good friends, and I let her, you know, I didn't let her, but she was in my bed sleep. So me and my friend, we come to the house, and I see her in the bed, so I said, well, we can't go in there because my friend's in the room sleeping. So she's in the other room, I'm in the restroom. She busts in the restroom, cussing me out, this, and that. Before I know it, I comes out the restroom, she's leaving, and she comes to the other driveway of my house and pulls out a bat like she's going to hit my car with a bat.
Let me ask you this question. This friend that you were with was a lady friend?
Yes.
She the mother of any of your children?
No.
If she hadn't been sleeping in your bed, sir, would you have spent the night with his lady friend in your room? Probably.
Probably so.
Probably.
Probably
Mr.
so.
Simmons, you have to act responsibly. If she gave you money and what you're suggesting is she had more of a romantic interest in you than you had in her, is that what you're suggesting, sir? Then what you do if you are a responsible, nice human being, you do not encourage that by accepting any gifts which says, I like you too, and therefore I'm going to let you spoil me a little bit. What you do is say, I don't want to take any money from you. We're friends. That's all we are. And I will take care of all these things by myself, even if I have to walk to work.
At the same time, Your Honor, I'm not the first gentleman she sued for loans and gifts she's have gave me, and so, you know.
I've never seen her before, sir. So it's the first time she sued somebody here.
Oh.
You just pay her $200, and then I will be happy. She may not be totally happy because she didn't get her Christmas presents back, but that's her problem.
Okay.
But you pay her the $200. That's what you needed to get your car out of tow, and that's what she loaned you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. You counterclaim for harassment.